Spawncast episode 430. It's the week of Silksong and a week of a weird Friday Direct, apparently, but a lot of stuff still happening. So we have a couple people gathered here today. Let me go around as we get started. Celia.
Hi, guys.
Pat, I guess. How you doing?
Yeah. My profile pic today is Schmutz with a Waddle Dee hat. It's one of his favorite hats. I went to the dermatologist today and got my face lasered, so I can't appear on camera.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Again, mostly audio podcasts. So
that sounds intense.
Yeah, I know it hurts. For fun fact, I have hormonal acne, and so it's like almost gone, like literally almost gone. And so I did this, and it hurt, and I'll be back on camera next week.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that.
That sounds like a really intense process. You said they shot a laser at you.
Yeah, it was pretty quick though.
I'm scared of lasers.
All I see is the 007 Death Machine and Goldfinger.
Right.
No, bro. I'm scared of lasers because I watched this documentary.
They're out to get you.
I watched this documentary, and this dude, I don't know why they did this to their baby, but they decided to use a laser for the circumcision. And
what the hell?
And it just...
Oh, man.
Okay.
And that's that.
Yeah, and it just right off. And then they tried to lie to him and say that you're and raise him that way, and it completely everything just fell apart. So I've been scared of lasers ever since then.
Okay, yeah, understandable.
Legitimate.
You just wake up in the night. There's a doctor in your room with a laser. You're like, no,
it's like no,
don't do
it. It's out there. You guys can. It was like
lasers are out there, man.
No, the documentary with the laser.
All you've done is warn me, and now I'm never seeing that documentary.
Thanks for the spoilers.
No, there's more to it. There's a lot more to it. Like, oh man,
there's more to that.
It gets crazy, bro. It gets crazy. Watch the documentary.
How's it going over there, OJ? Other than the documentary,
other than the lasers, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, no, everything's good, man. I can't complain. Shout outs. Thanks for having me on again.
Good stuff. And then Evan's back.
Thinking about how OJ's son's going to grow up to be a scientist that works explicitly with lasers.
Okay,
bro,
that could be a good twist.
Let me tell you something though. When my boy was born, I was like, yo, y'all be careful. It's like y'all better be careful. I was, and the lady was like, it's gonna be okay. I was just like,
yeah, they'd be like, yeah, it's all good. We got robots to do that now. Hold on a minute.
I was like, it's gonna be my hand. Like I was asking every single question. I was like, y'all don't mess this up. Like, do not mess this up.
How was your week-long LAN party, Evan?
It was only a weekend. It was tabletop stuff. It was fine.
Okay. Interesting.
It's the last one before my friends get stuck at work for months. So.
Before the fall and
late
the end of year stuff kicks in before you got to get all your stuff in before the end of the year, calendar, fiscal, whatever. Okay. There you go. A chance to get the tabletop stuff in. So shout out to everyone popping in now. Good to see everyone stopping in. So we had some stuff come out this week, and we had a state of play as well. We had handhelds get released that are priced interestingly, and Star Wars Outlaws. We had that come out too. So there's quite a bit of stuff. I did throw in another retro topic. People did get a kick out of the retro stuff last week, so I threw something in there. And I actually picked a specific generation and device and stuff as well, because I think it's kind of an interesting system since people look back on it, remember it for a specific franchise. But that franchise didn't come out until like almost 9 years after the system release or something like that. So that'll be a good one to discuss. So let's start with actually, Celia, you had a game you wanted to bring up.
Yes. Okay. So I know it's Silksong release week. Okay, I totally get that. But also, Shoot and Order came out yesterday, and it is so fun. It's published by Spike Chunsoft. OJ, are you familiar with Spike Chunsoft games?
Yeah. They did like Rain Code, and they've done a number of games.
Yes. Okay. I love Danganronpa. I love Rain Code. I really enjoy their games, and so I've been doing a whole countdown until the release of this. And I got to play a couple hours. They do have some rules about like not talking about the plot, because they don't want any spoilers or anything. But it's so good. And if you're a fan of those type of series, like it's It's exactly what you would expect, and I think a bit more polished than like some of their other games. Obviously through time progression, yada yada yada. But I'm really enjoying it. Basically, you start out as a pro tag, and like the early twist, non-spoiler twist, is that you're dead. So instead of investigating like in Danganronpa games of like who the killer is, you have to find your killer. And there's like you have only a couple days to do it. And like they have different theming for each character that you're investigating, so the game switches up like a ton, and I'm very, very excited to like go through them. It's incredible. I'm very excited about this. So if you like these type of games and like narrative focused adventure games that have like puzzles and logic, and it's a lot of point and clicky stuff, it's so fun.
Oh, they have looks like a dungeon area here. Almost.
Yeah, so that's one of the investigation areas.
Okay.
So like if you pick a different character, it'll be a different theme. So that one I think is like the sneak like adventuring one. There's like a visual novel, then there's like a bunch of other ones. So it's really cool. I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, check out the game.
What are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on Steam, but I think it also released for Switch as well.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Cool. I've just never really gotten to the Danganronpa stuff, so I don't know if that's up my alley, but
it's all good. It's kind of one of those things where, like, if you like these type of games, you are going to eat this up. You're going to love it. Like, you're feasting. Yes, the art looks so good, and the writing's so clever, and the voice acting is great. It's only Japanese voice acting as of right now, but they're awesome. It's a good time. I like it.
All right, good stuff. That's out. That's Shoot in Order, right?
Yeah, Shoot in Order, yes.
All right, Shoot in Order. All right, cool. Yep, that is out now. Very good, very good. You're right though, Celia. It was Silksong week, and this was an interesting one. I mean, I picked it up. I was trying to pick it up at first when it released, so it came out. I wasn't even sure what time it came out because I thought it was going to be 11 a.m. Eastern.
10 a.m. your time, yeah.
But then people started. Then these stores were like, "Oh, it's available now," and I looked as like 9:50 something a.m. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Let me take a look." And all like the stores were all messed up. Like PlayStation didn't have the game up until I think after 12, so noon, where you could reliably get it. I was trying to go on the app to see, and I'm like, man, everything is just messed up with this game. The Xbox store, I think for me, worked the best, and it was available on Game Pass right away. And then eventually Nintendo got their stuff figured out, and Steam. Everything just crashed when this game released. I don't know if they just weren't expecting that kind of traffic to come through. Because if that crashed it, then GTA 6 will do some damage too. But I assume once they realize they got it figured out.
The problem is that there was no preload.
Right. Oh, that's a good point because they announced it like 2 weeks before it was going to come out. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a mad scramble and dash to the release of this game.
Yeah. If GTA is going to, I mean, it might still crash it with GTA, but at least people are going to like preload that. So might ease the burden,
Yeah. But I did eventually pick it up. So I downloaded it on Game Pass and stuff. And I got on the Switch. I wanted to see how it would look on the screen because they are using the 120 hertz display on the Switch too. So I've been playing it actually quite a bit. I think I'm almost 5 hours into the game now. And so I have some thoughts on it there. Did anyone else pick it up?
Yes. I picked up and I've been putting I've been putting some hours into it.
Okay, good stuff. What about Evan? You check it out at all?
Nah, I'm not really feeling a Metroidvania right now.
Okay, that's fair. So it came out at $20, and people were a little surprised on that pricing too. After 6 or 7 years of development, we're so conditioned now to expect these games being more than we expect that you get one coming in like this, and it's a bit surprising that's less than we expect. I thought this was going to be $30. Kind of what I was thinking.
I thought 30 or 40. I was thinking that 30, 20. The minimum. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the physical I could see the physical copy being like $40 or something.
Yeah, physical's probably going to be. Then we say that, but then it comes out.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be 30 or 40. Yeah.
I don't know. I would compare to similar games for physical because it's not just up to what the value of the game is. It's also the costs of manufacturing and distribution. And they wouldn't self-publish this, so they'd be working with a partner on it. So it might be in the $50 range, $40 range. Mm-hmm. I just want to point that out because it's like, of course they, can value what their digital is, but physical is a whole
Yeah.
another beast.
I feel like you're probably a bit more knowledgeable on the publishing side than we are. So I would take your view on that. Yeah. So $40 to $50 range. And hey, look at it this way. If it comes in and it's less, then there you go. Nice surprise again. But this is a game that I would be interested in getting physically. Yes, provided they see, even if they did the Switch 1 edition of it and it had the free up, because it's a free upgrade pass. So if you get it on the Switch 2, you get the Switch 1 version, you get the Switch 1, you get the Switch 2 version, basically. So even a Switch 1 cartridge, there you go. It's good to go there. But again, I'm almost 5 hours into the game so far. And the thing I've noticed about this game is I think everyone probably went in a different order or different paths through it, because every time I come to a new corner of the map, it has 3 different ways you can split off if you want. And I feel like I've missed things and maybe even found things that other people haven't. But what do we think about the game itself before we even talk about some of the other things around this game and its impact so far on gaming?
It's Hollow Knight, but better.
It's difficult. I'm playing it too.
Hollow Knight is difficult. It's Hollow Knight, but better. Yeah. So it's everything that people probably wanted from. If you played Hollow Knight, they added side quests and other stuff, which was fun. Got cool abilities. It's a really good Metroidvania.
Yeah, I feel like this is maybe just early on, because they figure if you're buying this, you've probably played Hollow Knight or you're aware of it. Although I don't know how correct that is with how much hype was around this game and how many sales happened after the announcement of the game way back when. I think there are a lot of people probably jumping in now as their first Hollow Knight game then. But I think this game right out of the gate is harder than the first one.
Yeah.
Just in general, they just assume you're aware of what you're getting into. So right away, it'll just start smacking you around. I saw some people who were calling for difficulty settings being added on PC. There's a patch that came out first day where they made the game easier. That was a patch.
They made the game easier?
Yeah, they made it so in the game, bosses, as you know, will do double damage compared to, they'll take 2 of your little life meter things away. So they put a patch out to make it so the bosses take 1 piece of your life meter away, as an example. So this is something that's been happening, and and then on top of people fighting around the piracy aspect to it, there's so much around this game that's not even just about the game itself right now, going into it. But I think it is a very good Metroidvania game, just outright. I mean, the animations are great, the environment's great, the atmosphere they have here, the character Hornet is very well done. And you're right, OJ, the abilities that I'm getting are legitimately huge for the traversal and exploration, to where I go, okay, I'm going to go back to the original area, which is the idea of Metroidvania. The idea is to get you thinking about exploring early parts of the map immediately when you get an ability. It's like, oh, okay, I know how this can help me earlier on. And then the health upgrades start hitting, you start finding other abilities and more of this currency to then buy maps and compasses and all kinds of stuff. And again, the idea is eventually get to the point where you are just powerful. You're able to smack around enemies that you were struggling with earlier, or be able to maneuver some of their screen filling attacks almost, going through. There are some bosses that I've run across though that took several tries. I will say that. I was like, man, am I supposed to come back to this? And eventually you figure it out, you get the pattern down and you beat them. But I've run into some that were pretty fun actually so far. Difficult, but fun. So I think I've beaten probably 8 or 9 bosses so far. My only thing that's a little annoying is I wish there was some reward when you beat one of these bosses. Even if it's just currency that drops, it feels like you beat one of the bosses and then just nothing happens. You just move on. That's happened a couple of times for me. I know there's usually something.
Yeah, some of them there's something, but sometimes it's just you beat the boss. Congratulations.
Yeah, I sometimes I feel like I missed something. I'm like, did something drop but I didn't see it? It's like, no.
Because usually in Metroidvanias, in all of them, or even Metro, you get something. There's always some type of missile upgrade, or there's a new weapon like Castlevania, something, new power ability. Sometimes it's nah, it's about the friends you make along the way sometimes.
Yes, there are a couple bosses that were easier than others. I just beat one before we started up the show, that probably the hardest one I played so far. And I don't want to really describe it. I don't want to spoil any of the bosses. Some of them, I like a lot of the time what they do is you don't know you're going into a boss's lair until the fight starts. You're just kind of walking through and then a door closes and it's like, okay, you're fighting a boss. Oh, now I got to try to remember how I got here because I don't know where the last rest spot was because I'm probably going to die to the boss right away. Or I'm not going to be at my first try until I learn the pattern. How you feeling about the game so far, Celia?
It's difficult. Okay, with Hollow Knight, I appreciate the game. I played a little bit of it, but I never beat it. I just kind of like fell off. Metroidvanias are cool. I like them, but I tend not to finish them just for the fact that like I'll stop playing and then forget what I'm doing and then just a bad time.
Yeah.
And then it'll be the endless cycle of me restarting the game, playing through it, some of it, then having to put it down and then forgetting. And then, it's a process. Anyways, so I was like, okay, Silksong hype, hell yeah, let's play. And I got a couple hours in and I'm having fun. But then Shoot and Order took priority. So I'm going to forget what I'm doing and then restart probably once I'm done with this game. I do find the game a bit more difficult than I remember Hollow Knight being. But also like, it's one of those get good things. So like, it's okay. It's what's to be expected. I'm very curious what some people's experiences are like if they're just jumping in it. It's like baby's first Metroidvania and they just like get to find out firsthand what that's like. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the overall style of the game, you're right, is that sort of you're gonna want to play through it, and this is like the one game you're playing at the time, so you're gonna try to get through it and then go to something else. If I put this game down for a week and came back, I would kind of feel sort of lost. I will say that. I'd be like, wait, what was I doing again? And that happens in a lot of games, but this is one where the way that the map system works and stuff, it is kind of okay. I remember this zone and I already kind of know what I was doing here. And like that stuff I would have forgotten if I moved to another game and then came back, or at least it would take an hour or two to kind of get re-familiar with the map. Whereas usually it's get familiar again with the controls and mechanics. So not necessarily here though.
Oh, unrelated, but related. Sherma, I love her. She is delusional and she is great. I don't want to spoil anything, but I love her.
I mean, I think some of the characters, like you're going to have a lot of people who enjoy the different characters in this game. So
yeah,
there's a lot of memes and stuff made out of it.
They should take another 7 to 8 years and make a Sherma DLC where it's a rhythm game of like karaoke. I want Sherma's karaoke. I think that sounds rad.
I'm actually unsure how long it takes to beat Silksong. I think some people may have mentioned they already beat it. I have not, so I can't tell you yet how long it took me to beat it. Maybe next weekend I'll be able to tell you. We'll see how it goes, because there's always a chance I run into a boss that I just hit my head against the wall for a couple hours, then it's being a longer play time than like I'm thinking about what the final boss is just based on some of the bosses I've seen in the first like 5 hours. I assume that the last boss is gonna be some craziness or something.
I will say there is an achievement on Steam called Speedrunner that says to complete the game in under 5 hours.
Wow. Okay. Gee. Well, I assume you know the golden. That's like if you have the golden path down and you understand
most likely
the minimum boss mechanics and stuff. Like, I'd be curious to see what the minimum boss number is.
Currently, 0% of people have this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So,
but the game's been out for 2 days.
Yeah, but you don't know that community.
Fair enough.
The community is crazy.
Next week, someone will be beating it with a Guitar Hero controller, blindfolded or something.
If you go to this pixel and jump and then down dash, you're at the final boss.
They were doing crazy stuff with Metroid Dread, pretty, close to the launch of it. So
the reception to this game though has been interesting. Whether it's the price point, the quick launch of it, that was the whole thing. I see some people in the press are annoyed at this thing. Some people in indie games are annoyed at this thing. It's some are wondering if this sets a new standard for the industry with the $20 price or mostly it just comes down to the price of the content. That's what I see really for standards being set for the industry. But I have some thought. What do you guys think about the view of this thing and kind of the impact that people think it's having right now on the industry or should have on the industry?
Some people are being unrealistic. Like
Mhm.
it's good to, have a game that gives you great content for 20, but the circumstances surrounding that are unrealistic for other people to hold up to. It's like you can't, like, I like cheap games too, but everyone can't just charge 20 and take 7-8 years to make a game. Like there's a lot of indie developers that didn't sell 15 million copies of Hollow Knight, and there's other indie developers that maybe have a bit more on their staff. You got to pay them a livable wage, and they don't have the type of money coming in to be able to do that. So some people are being a bit unrealistic with, what they're saying. And then, like, now they're trying to apply this to like AAA games. Like, oh, well, all the teams are too big. It's like, well, you don't want Witcher? You don't want Baldur's Gate? Because those are big teams too. Those take, $100 million or whatever. So nobody wants those games anymore. You guys all want 2D games now, hand drawn, like 2D. It's like some people are just being ridiculous.
We lived
Yeah.
through the I'm sick and tired of 2D side scrollers
Yeah,
generation these
so
past 10 years. And
There's
we're
some
back.
people that are trying to
We
adapt this,
recycled.
to AAA games, and it doesn't make any sense, or to even other indie games. It doesn't make any sense to other indie games. Not all of them can sell. I mean, if every indie game can sell 15 million, then yeah, they can take 7 or 8 years and charge 20 if they can sell 15 million. But most indie games don't even get close.
To jump in that, I tweeted out something and I was like worried I was going to get in trouble for it, because just for people to get mad. And it's kind of one of those things that, like, there is a lot to learn about Silksong's release, and what frustrates me is that people are just looking at the end result. So the last 2 weeks when it was announcing the release date, the last beat, and it basically being, for that caliber of game, kind of like a shadow drop. It's like, hey, it's coming out soon. Okay, see you soon. Bye. And it, like, not sending out media keys and all that as setting a new gold standard of like, this is what indie has become. And it's like, no, it's not. Okay, hold on here. Okay, they did so much footwork to get there, and it also was lightning in a bottle, and so many other aspects just then, the end part of their release. Like, they released an award-winning game, Hollow Knight. It's incredible. They build a community, a very loyal community around Kickstarter. They fulfilled their goals. Lightning a bottle happened when everyone got really, really obsessed and made countdown clocks and all these things. Like, they were like in almost every major showcase, advertising their game over a series of years, like E3 2019, Xbox Showcase 2022, Switch 2 Direct 2025, and Gamescom, and then their own final release. There's so much, like, things that paved the way to their success with that. So, like, if you're not a juggernaut, you should probably send out your game to media to review beforehand if you're able to. And in addition to that, having more breathing room with people being able to know your release date is important, because you need the time to market it and get it in the mind of, the conscious of everything, just for the fact of how fast the media cycle is. And so one thing with Silksong being such a huge juggernaut, I'm very curious when the marketing news cycle turnover is going to happen for this game, because we've been talking about this for years. We are a couple days into its release, and I'm like, for a game as big as this, I'm curious to see when everyone's like, okay, well, anyway, and then moves on to the next game. I don't know. It's a case study. I'm interested. Everyone should market their game.
I mean, yeah, they should market their game. It is kind of funny, silly, the way you kind of describe that, because I see people online who will say just do what Silksong does. I don't know how you recreate what Silksong did.
You can't. You literally can't. Like, it's lightning in a bottle mixed with hard work and a fantastic game. There are 10,000 games that release on Steam every single year. It probably is more, but that's a number I'm sticking with. And a lot of those games are awesome. And not everyone's going to have the same amazing chance and millions of legion of fans, basically, to help do the footwork of word of mouth marketing. It is so hard. And so, like, I can't look at this as a case study of, hey, you go from A, B to C, because for this game, at least, I think that's just not possible. It's crazy huge. It's become a being of its own beyond Team Cherry.
Yeah, I don't think I've really seen anything like this before for a game of this size from a studio of that size, because their marketing strategy with Silksong was do nothing. Those are markets for years, like 5 years or 4 years, something. Because I remember Xbox had it at their event, and that's when we found out it was going to be in Game Pass. And then we just didn't hear from them, Team Cherry. And there's like, yeah, we're just making our game, because when Hollow Knight Silksong got announced, we had Hollow Knight had sold 3 million copies. From then until this most recent interview that they did after announcing Silksong with the release and everything coming up at Gamescom, they said they sold an additional 12 million copies of Hollow Knight. So it was this self-fulfilling prophecy almost of announce sequel to Hollow Knight with Silksong. The internet, big fans of Hollow Knight, come back around, advertise the game basically for them with this sequel. And then it snowballs into, oh, we just sold an additional 12 million copies. Let's stick in development with this thing, keep making the game better. And then we'll sell it for $20 when it comes out, because there's 3 of us or something. Now, there is still a lot of localization that happened. So there were contractors and stuff that worked on it as well, which we heard about apparently the Chinese localization for it wasn't great or something, and they have to work on that. But there were more people technically involved. But at Team Cherry, there's like 3 or 4. There's a handful of people, basically. It kind of reminds me a bit of, it sounds like a weird comparison to make. When I say you can't recreate Hollow Knight, it's kind of in the same way as when I say you can't recreate GTA 6 and the hype cycle for that. Like, it's just, there are 2 extremes. You have GTA 6 where people are like, maybe this thing will be $100, and you have Hollow Knight Silksong that's like, I can't believe this thing's $20. And it's just 2 outliers in gaming is kind of the way I look at it, which is fine. But as you mentioned, Celia, 10,000 games last year, you said, on Steam, is actually over 18,000 games.
Oh, Jesus. It's worse.
So, but you kind of, it's a very crowded market right now. And when you have Hollow Knight Silksong be able to stick out that well, it's just not common. So it's one of one, basically.
Also, I just want to point out, though, they did market their game. Being in huge platform events is marketing. So I don't want to discount them for that. They did do stuff. But also, Matt, I don't think he's like full-time on Team Cherry. Matt's their marketing guy. And so it's kind of one of those things of like, when he's working, he's doing stuff, and then he's working on other stuff. So it's very interesting to see Team Cherry's strategy of complete and absolute silence in between, and just letting that fester, which is crazy, because any other game, I'm like, don't do that. People will forget.
Well, I gotta say, the Clownwig meme for Silksong
carried
through the silent times.
And
it was wild.
You got to give credit to the fan base for Hollow Knight as well. They would not let it go. They did. I would say, out of everything, the fan base for Hollow Knight did a large majority of the marketing. like at every event, it was, if you looked in the chat for Indie Worlds or Directs or State of Plays or anything, Hollow Knight Silksong was in the chat constantly for the live feed. It was like, where is it? So it was just constantly being mentioned and talked about. I'm sure that led to sales for Hollow Knight, and it allowed them to then not show up with the game for longer and work on it. So it was just this circular thing kept happening. But it's not a common thing. And I don't know if it's because, like, so for example, last year, Animal Well came out, another Metroidvania game. Very good game, by the way. Very good game. And it did not get the same kind of press or interest or anything. I mean, people did say it was good. It did not get this level of interest. All right. So it was in like PlayStation Plus. I played it there. Again, it was very good. Metroidvania style game, but it was $25 when it released. That was fair, but it's not the Hollow Knight Silksong $20 level. It's like, why is that? Well, it's not Silksong.
That was marketed by a very popular YouTuber too, like a very Donkey's incredibly popular on this platform, and that didn't get anywhere near Silksong. Not even close.
Yeah, but when it came out, it got a 90 on Metacritic and everything. It's a very good game. Yeah. It was good Metroidvania.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't just people are just saying, "Oh, just replicate it. Just take 7 years and just and it's unrealistic. It's not something that you can do. And like, once again, there's a handful of people, like you said, you got to pay people. Like, even if you want to downsize, like let's say you want to make people, because I see people saying, "Oh, well, you can't have 1,000-person teams." Okay, but even if you have 100-person team, you probably still can't charge only $20, you know, for the game. Like if you're gonna make a nice, like, you know, like Claire Obscure, for example, something like that. That was $50, right? So
that's
it's
a
like,
better. I think that's a better example, though. OJ Claire Obscure Expedition 33 for this
Yeah.
whole idea of these games and where they should be priced and what's fair and what's not, because that's a game that people saw and they were interested, but it didn't have the Silksong legendary 6-year run or whatever of the clown wig stuff. And in fact, when it came out, it kind of just broke onto the scene. I don't say out of nowhere, but I don't think anyone going up to it was necessarily like, oh, this is obviously going to be game of the year. Like it's definitely.
I was, but I mean, now.
Well, like, but like a large majority of people, I don't think anyone was like, okay, this looks cool, but I don't think it's gonna, you know, be this game of the year win thing, right? Which that's what a lot of people are looking at it now. Like it was gonna show up be a 93 or something on Metacritic.
Yeah. I don't think anybody really thought it was gonna like a lot of people didn't think that. I mean, when I saw the game, I was like, this game looks really good. And when I started like paying attention to like what the developers were saying about the game, then I'm like, oh no, this game's really, really, really good. That's why I was saying, like, you know, RGT would make fun of me. He'd be like, oh yeah, Claire Obscure, what, he'd make fun of the name and be like, game of the year, right? And I'm like, yeah, it might be, dude. Like, you know, you gotta wait and see. But yeah, a lot of people didn't think that, and obviously, it has not done it. It didn't do as well as, you know, it's not going to do as well as Silksong, you know.
Yeah, so I like there were articles being written about it and headlines and stuff for indie developers who were kind of frustrated with the pricing on Hollow Knight Silksong at 20. At least they just expressed like, what do I price my game at? Honestly, you just price it at what you want, because I know people are going to put Silksong right next to like all these games that come out from now on, and it's such an outlier thing. I just don't know if it's a good comparable.
Yeah, but I mean, you're dropping a fighting game and someone's looking at it like, I don't want to buy a Metroidvania. Do you think they not buy your fighting game and buy the Metroidvania instead? No, just make your fucking game.
Yeah.
Well, I know like a lot of developers delayed their game, you know, to get out of the way.
If you could, though, because a lot of people couldn't, because if you set your pre-orders, you can't move your release date.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's one of those things that like a lot of people couldn't get out of the blast radius, and that's a bummer. But like, I don't know.
Silksong did take over. Like this week, it was like all Silksong.
It did. What were the other games besides Shoot in Order that released this week?
It was Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion, Chronos, Star Wars Outlaws.
And people were talking about Chronos, but like it was probably like, oh, here's one person saying Chronos, here's 30 people talking about Hollow Knight Silksong. It was like getting run over completely by it.
Yeah, but the people looking for Hollow Knight, if they're not looking for a survival horror, they're not buying Chronos regardless.
That's true.
Okay, but the thing is, though, in addition to that, is that they crashed all the stores besides the Xbox store. So it's kind of like one of those things where, like, even if the people aren't looking for that game, they couldn't buy your game for a little while. I don't know, man.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like it's I don't know. And then like with media coverage, everyone's just focused on that. So my heart goes out to everyone that did release.
There was a really cool Fire Emblem clone game called Dark Deity that released, and it's good. It's like a Game Boy Advance style like Fire Emblem game, and like it just got swallowed like whole.
I'm gonna help you guys out real quick. Okay, anyone who had a game that just came out and you want some marketing, some press, some free social media publicity, here's the move. Okay, you make up one of those cards real quick. Okay, and you put your character and Hornet, and you congratulate Hollow Knight Silksong on the release.
That's what Chronos
it's
did.
Great for both of us to be here. Look at us, and I'm telling you, it'll get retweeted. People will like it. It'll be like, yeah, Hollow Knight Silksong and this game.
Chronos did that, and it jumped up to like number 7 on the eShop.
Hey, ride the wave. That's what I'm saying. Okay,
yeah, just right. You can't avoid it, so you might as well ride the wave with.
Hey, got Cave S and Hornet. Look at them. Okay, just go ahead and put that card out there, Star Wars Outlaws. That's what I would do.
I don't think Ubisoft even care. They're just kind of like,
no.
Wait a minute, hold up, wait, people actually buying it? Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They're like, wait, people actually want it?
I'm just saying.
That was the hilarious thing about Star Wars Outlaws.
Celia, Hollow Knight Silksong, me and the Hollower right next to each other. That would look good.
Oh, hey, hold on. They have white and red cape kind of thing.
It would look good. That would look good.
It would look good. Okay, hold on, let me go back 2 days. And
You can still do it.
congratulate them. I know I can. You know, it'd be real
What
cool.
a great! It was a great weekend for Hollow Knight Silksong. Someone should congratulate them on Monday.
I know, right? No, I did DM them to say hi. So
Just go for it.
be like, sup, guys.
I'm gonna play through it. We'll see how long it is. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna hit every boss. There's like 40 some odd bosses apparently in the game, is what they were saying. But I'll get to the end, see the credits and stuff, and then move on to another game, because all these games keep hitting. Someone else reminded me that Everybody's Golf came out this week too. So I'm I'm behind everything.
Rest in peace, Everybody's Golf.
Yeah. Everybody's
behind
golf.
all right now.
You know what they should do? They should take their Everybody's Golf characters and put it next to Silksong and congratulate them. That's my brand new unique idea, John. What do you think?
I'm about to put my YouTube channel next to it. Congratulations to Silksong.
Wait, hold on. Can you edit the thumbnail for Thursday's
That should
video?
be the meme from now on. If you need anything done on social media, any kind of publicity, just congratulate Silksong and then put like your cement mixing company next to it.
That's a good idea.
just whatever. You working on you coming up on out here in Northeast. It's starting to get a little chillier soon. Get the HVAC company out there for checks on the heat pumps and stuff. There you go. Congratulations, Silksong. Hey, we'll see how it goes. I'm really curious how it's going to do when we finally get reviews and stuff that come out for it. I'm almost wondering if the hype cycle for this game is going to affect some of the review scores. Like, are people already going to go in thinking that it's like it has to be this really, really good game? Like, is there a kind of internal skewing with that?
There'll be a little bit. It's unavoidable. It's almost like, let's say like you're doing like jury duty, and like the person, like if it's like a high profile case, and if they know about the stuff beforehand, it's going to potentially skew like what they think. So they try to get people who maybe didn't know about it, because like no matter what, with something this high profile, there's going to be just a tad. I'm not going to say everybody, but there's going to be somewhat,
I don't know, man. I feel like if you let's say that you decide that you don't like Hollow Knight Silksong for some reason, I think you're going to get mass harassed if you talk about that.
Well,
and
if you drop a 5 on this thing.
No, the game is good. I think it deserves like a 9-10. I think it's great. Okay. But if let's say that you don't like it for whatever reason and you have an issue with the UI or the issue with the scaling or whatever it may be, and you give it like, I don't know, a 7, I feel like the mob will be outside your door.
There's a mild chance if you hit it with an 8, you're never seen or heard from again.
Just black bagged completely.
In a way, though, I will tell you this. In a way, Celia, the hype and the crazy, artificial almost marketing cycle just from everybody being like the memes and stuff. I've from what I've played 5 hours or so, it's very good, but it's not this transcendent experience that was almost, with this game being hyped up so much, almost implied for it. So I'm high quality, top tier at Metroidvania, but not something where I'm going through it like, whoa, this is.
Make sure all your doors are locked, John.
I've never seen anything like this before.
I
don't know. I think it's real good, but
no, I'm not saying it's,
I feel like
Metroid Dread was really good too, but I wasn't like this 10 out of 10.
Okay, a game shouldn't have to change your life completely and give you a new outlook to be a 10.
But that's I don't know. Demand for 10s. I'll give a 9.
I'm pretty strict about 10s though.
I don't know. Yeah. I think if it's like absolutely enjoyable and there's nothing that I feel like I would change about that experience in the context of what it is. Because like there are some like let's say there are some puzzle games that I consider a 10. Are they going to change my outlook on puzzle games for the rest of my life? No. But did I have a damn good time? Yeah. So 10.
But I have that thought of, if you keep seeing games that don't change your outlook on life and you keep giving them 10s and then you hit that game that does, it feels almost like
11.
I should have saved my time for that.
Jinx, OJ.
11, baby.
But
I think GTA 6 is going to have a similar effect. Yeah, I think finally when that game comes out and I get it in my hands and I play it, I'm be like, that was a really good game. But it wasn't like a transcendent game. I don't know.
For
People
GTA
give
6,
GTA
really?
10s. Listen, I don't think any GTAs really, except for like maybe 3 is like transcended or like.
I mean,
San
I would say
Andreas.
San Andreas.
And they
San
give-
Andreas, absolutely.
They give
yeah.
10s to
Andreas is huge.
GTA like candy, like 10, 10, like for GTA games, like so. You know, that's why I'm saying like it's going to be affected by it a bit, you know, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everybody has a different opinion. If they're
Yeah.
affected by it or not, it's fine. If you want to give it a 10, that's cool. If you don't want to give it a 10, that's also cool too. You know,
And I could keep going through Silksong. It's 5 hours. I mean, things could keep, you know, elevating it and changing and stuff as I go through. This is just like my first, like I said, 5 hours or so in the game of what could be. It could end up being a 20-hour game for all I know right now. So I could be a quarter of the way
speed run
through.
time.
Well, yeah. I could be a quarter of the way through, and all of a sudden it gets really good, and you know, a couple hours, I'm like, wow, okay, this is it. But it's I'll give him credit for the whole game is there. I wasn't asked about microtransactions or anything yet, so we're on the right path. Let's see. I'll go through some of the super chats here. Cyber Taurus, by the way, says, "Congrats, Silksong." Okay, now Celia, when are we getting Shovel Knight Silksong?
Oh God, let me get Mina out first. I'm so tired. Everyone buy the game. It's October 31st.
Silver Nick says, "You guys try out Sega Shinobi Arts Adventures." I did. I was playing Shinobi up until Silksong came out. I put Shinobi down.
Right.
So I'm like, I got to play this transcendent experience with Silksong.
I played the demo. I didn't beat the demo, but I played it for a bit. Yeah, it's good. I'm definitely gonna pick it up at some point.
I like it quite a bit. It was very, very good. It's there's a lot more going on in there than I was expecting when I went into it. I played the demo. I was like, okay, wow, this is pretty good. Upgrades, the full progression around it. The combos feel awesome. Like that. Like if you hit just right with a combo, it feels like legitimately satisfying when you take somebody out. So I like it a lot, but I need to go back to it. It says that I'm 40% done. So I think the game is like 10 hours, 11 hours long is what I think. But then 100% is probably, you know, I always say maybe 50 to 60% more than what the full time to beat for a game like that. Cybertor says freaking laser beams.
Oh my God.
Freaking lasers.
That's the first time I've ever told that story.
I'm glad you can.
I'm gonna look up what there's a word for laser phobia.
Oh, gee, there's got to be. They've like phobias for like terms for everything, don't they?
I don't know why they would do like why wouldn't you just do
Not
that?
formally recognized. We found a new one, baby.
Oh, can we name
Yeah,
it?
it can be OJ. Your
Yeah.
name has to be in it. Like,
Ojophobia.
no,
OJ.
OJ laser phobia.
J-Lo's laser phobia. I
This
don't know
is-
why they'd use a laser to do circumcision. That just seems crazy to me.
I do not think that's normally the case.
No,
I mean-
it's not. Definitely
I
not.
mean, you think, oh, it'll cauterize as it goes, and it's probably more
Got
efficient
lightsabers in
than
there?
a knife or scissors.
Something tells me they lied about what happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That does kind of sound like they did. Just tell
Like
them
they lied
lasers did it.
Probably
Yeah.
started and like the pain initially, they weren't holding them down, twitched, and it's like, oh, uh-oh.
Tell them lasers did it.
The
Yeah.
mom and dad
God.
said that they used a new laser, but I'm like, why would you use a? And this wasn't like new. This was like old. This was like I think in the 80s.
Okay, did they go to
like the
jail?
80s or 70s.
Or the staff was trying to record a TikTok, so they were trying to like reflect it around the room, like how you throw one of those like ping pong
OJ.
balls to get into a cup.
Yeah.
Oh, did the family go to jail? Because I feel like
No.
that's-
No,
oh.
the fam
No,
that was
you're
I think it
allowed
was,
to ruin your children's life and get
I
away
think it
with
was part of the I don't think the doctors or things like they were trying to figure out a plan what to do, you know. And one of them was just like, well, yeah, just say he's a girl.
Oh
Well.
my God.
Yeah. So then he grew up but then he started. What God? Please don't cancel me.
Okay.
Whatever the thing was going
But I
on, like
want to. I
they
want to so
started
bad.
saying like rebelling against. I don't have a problem with anybody. Let me just make sure I make that clear. They started rebelling against him, like you know, tomboy. You know, like when they're saying no, you know, we're play with dolls, and they're like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. So like they were getting nervous. The parents were getting nervous because like, oh, they're gonna find out, and then eventually they told them, and then they just instantly just changed. But then it already had ruined both that person and then that person's brother, and they ended up. You guys want me to spoil it? I don't know. I don't think some people probably want to watch it now, but I won't spoil
Yeah.
it. But yeah, it pretty much like ruined the whole
It's already
family.
in my queue right now. Watch
I don't remember the name of the documentary though. I don't remember it though.
Frickin' lasers should be the title.
Forensic Files was kind of titled like that. They'll make like a meme off of like the death. Like,
Oh man. Beanie King says, "Why are Steam's download servers so trash? Have we ever got to the bottom of that? Takes half the time to download something via Epic, for instance."
I mean, it's different when you've got millions of people wanting to download games from a system and then 1,000 people trying to get it from one other one. It's just scale.
Elliot says, "Something people don't understand about Hollow Knight and Team Cherry is that they're all multimillionaires from the success of the first game, so there was no real incentive to overprice Silksong. I mean, they're very well off, yes."
Didn't they earn like 50 million each or something? I heard a ridiculous number somewhere, and I didn't fact check it, so I could be just making that up.
You think about Hollow Knight it was on sale a few times. I think the lowest I saw it was maybe $6 or $7, but they sold 15 million copies of that thing, and originally it released at $15. So you can start throwing the math together. And they also got a Game Pass deal for Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was several $1 million. And they hit a button on release, and immediately Silksong jumped over 500,000 concurrent players on Steam. So then you start to add in, okay, what would have done on Nintendo's platform, on the Xbox, on Sony's platform. All of a sudden, you're like, they may have sold several million copies in the first few hours. So
Gosh.
yes, they hit a button and became, multimillionaires all over again in
That's
a matter
so
of an hour.
cool. Good for them, man.
I mean, yeah, that is. I wonder if they end up doing anything outside of just, I don't know, making another game like this. Do they go publishing now with all the money they made? I don't know.
It would be really cool for them to go the publishing route as they take their time to make the next follow-up in the next decade. I don't know. Yeah. It would be cool to see. Well, we'll find out eventually.
Especially if they do like smaller indie projects and stuff, they bring them in and they publish their games with them. That'd be kind of cool.
Be interesting to see if one or more of them has like the Notch crash out where he's just like going crazy about society.
Well, the good news is they all are very, very quiet.
Hate me.
They're very quiet, so they've done good so
for
far.
Now.
Yeah, well,
no, I've heard that they're really, really nice. Like,
that's good.
So,
Elliot says something people don't understand about Hollow Knight and Team Cherry is that they're all. We did that. Okay, here's Pulse Attack. This is
a fun one.
OJ's friend. Hey, John, I love your content. I wake up every day to your news as part of my daily routine. Can't say the same about OJ. Dude got mad when I called out his bad taste in games and threatened to fight me for $10,000 on Twitter. Get some apple juice.
I didn't threaten.
It's an orange.
I didn't threaten to fight you. You were. This guy was talking tough, and I already knew he was a bitch. So I said, "Hey, look, I'll give you. Let's fight for 10K." I already knew you'd say no to prove that all you do is talk. You're a fake tough guy.
That's is that a ukulele in that picture? So
yeah, with really tiny arms. So he was talking so tough on Twitter.
Holy shit!
All I said,
come at me with them T-Rex arms.
All I said was this. All I said was like, dude, you talking tough. You're not really that tough. Like, why are you talking so tough? And then I was like, look, let's fight for 10K. I already knew he was gonna say no because he's scared. That's it. I wasn't actually gonna fight you. You don't have 10K.
What was your?
He had $50, and now we have $50.
Wow.
What was your?
So I'm glad that you're so salty because I blocked this dude. I'm glad that he's so salty that he came and supported the podcast. So I'm glad. But yeah, man, I mean, he talks tough. He didn't want to, and I wasn't gonna. Obviously, I'm not gonna fight him because there's no way he'd fight me. Look at those arms. Look at those arms.
OJ.
Look at those arms.
OJ, his ukulele moment when he films a video singing about you is going to be
I thought he was going to hit me over the head like Jeff Jarrett if we fought.
It's going to be a scene from Desperado. He's going to have his ukulele case.
Or like
remember
El Capone, that guy that swings, the cartoon character with the guitar, and he just goes bonsai or whatever. People in the chat know. That cartoon, I thought he was going to be that. But I mean, if you're that salty to where you got to come over here and donate, hey, man, I feel you, brother. But I knew you weren't going to fight. That's why I said it.
This is in your stream?
No, it was on Twitter. I was just trolling him. I was just trolling him because he started getting spicy for no reason.
I love lurking Twitter fights.
Yeah, he started. So the only reason, like I said, I already knew he wasn't going to because he just talked stuff on Twitter. I mean, that's it. So, I mean, like, of course he wasn't going to take that. You know,
well, shout out to Pulse Tech.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out. This man must have been getting ready for that one. Hey, by the way, the offer's still on the table, though. The offer's still on the table if you want to fight for 10K. I got you, fam. The offer's still on the table.
Dude, I think you made his Saturday. You gave him real life attention. Congratulations,
John
MJ.
money. John's my homie. So hey,
There you
look, he gave John money. We're on this podcast together, so it's all good. I have no problem with that.
I'm always down for collateral cash.
You're gonna need about $9,950 more though. So if you want to get that 10K, a
This
bit
is
more to
from-
that.
This is from Good Kid, who says 2 words: Hunter's March. This is from Bobo, says, Celia, have you played the 100-line Last Defense Academy? It's made by Danganronpa creator, and it's one of the most impressive games I ever played.
Okay, so that game is in my library, and I am so excited to play it. But I am saving it till after Mina releases because I know of how large of a time investment it is, and anything that creator makes is like a day one buy for me. So, yeah, it's an eventually I will play that game. It has like 100 different. It has like a crazy amount. I think it's 100 different endings for the game.
Oh, wow.
And it's like really in-depthly made. It's not like throwaway storylines. And it's so cool. And I can't wait to play it. But Mina needs to come out.
Yeah.
I'm tired, guys.
This is from Future Millionaire. It says, awesome seeing you and Ryan with the Sacred Symbols Boys again. Just finished watching it now. Yeah, I think Dustin said that just went up today. So we did that this week, and instead of Click R3, we were on there. So there you go. But it was fun. It was good conversations for a couple hours there with Dustin, Chris, and Colin. So it was good stuff. And Ryan. So go check it out. I think they have it posted. I'm trying to think they have it posted on their channel or if it's just on their Patreon right now, and then they post it later. But either way, it's out there. Living Legend says, I'm enjoying Shinobi so much that I will replay the OG legendary 16-bit masterpieces, Revenge of Shinobi and Shinobi 3. Genesis, what SNES isn't. And Claw
Don't skip
says,
the PS2 game, though. PS2 game was so good.
oh, yeah. I always forget about the PS2
was
game. I always
so
think back to the
good.
old one. Claw says, Silksong has the most damaged fan base I've seen. They memed about it coming soon, then briefly joked about it being delayed after the release date was locked. You can't get better marketing than that. Claw says, not even Half-Life or Fire Emblems is that bad. Bruno says, hi, guys. Greetings from Rio de Janeiro. Sorry for the chicken feed, but it's from my heart. Brazilian YouTubers have been roasting PS delay and 2 times the cost. Yeah, I can't. As far as I am aware, it is quite expensive in some of these regions for PlayStation. And we just heard about the storage size going down, but pricing staying the same in certain regions. It's all over the place right now with this generation.
Yeah, the what's it called? Capcom president, games boss was like, PS5's too expensive. Like that's why we're not selling copies of Monster Hunter as much as we would
Yeah, we'll come back casual noob here in a minute. Yeah, the Capcom thing was interesting with PlayStation because they're searching for answers as to why Monster Hunter was struggling after its initial 10 million, by the way. You imagine being like, man, 10 million copies at 70 a piece. This is the worst. No, because they sold 500,000 copies in the months after that total. So 10.5 million copies. Now they have to look to try to find more place to sell it. And he did not seem pleased with PS5's pricing. Mostly it seemed like he was talking about Japan for a lot of it, where the PS5
he was talking about Japan. Yeah, he was talking about Japan with the pricing. You know, he started talking about the PSN pricing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we do the thing where we see that how much yen it costs there, and then we just convert it over to dollars. But then you look up how much people in Japan are making, like on average or median, and it's like, whoa, okay, so it's actually a huge gap between that kind of spending for a younger generation over in Japan. So Monster Hunter, which is incredibly popular in Japan, it's not on Nintendo system, so it's basically like, well, PlayStation or PC, and their PC release just was not very good in terms of optimization, and there's so many issues, and word of mouth was just bad. So what are you going to do at that point? Probably fix it. Maybe that'll work.
I mean, there's also another level to it where Worlds already existed. It already had so much content in it.
That's true.
And sequelitis kicked in real hard with this, where they basically went, oh, all that cool stuff we added at the end of Worlds, it's gone. You'll get what we had at the beginning of Worlds in Wilds, basically, but with weather. And everyone was like, okay, cool. I can just wait 5-6 years to get all the other cool stuff. That's awesome.
Right, because we already know the price will come down on this thing. We saw Monster Hunter Worlds get down to $10. It's like, Well, eventually, by the end of this year, let's be real, Wilds will probably be like, they'll have like a $30 some odd sale for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever.
The PS5 was a lot like, because Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Wilds came out like right around the same time, within like the time frames of like PS4 and PS5, like 4 to 5 years afterwards. But the PS4 was just like significantly cheaper, like around the world. Like you can get the PS4 for just way cheaper at that same time frame, which is, you know, now that's just not obviously not the case. But
I mean,
yeah,
if they can get on the Switch too, that would give them a pretty big boost, because what did we see this week with Star Wars Outlaws? The game comes out. It's been back and forth. Originally, there were reports, I know GVG had it and stuff, where it wasn't running well. Then the game, so it's funny. I get the Ubisoft originally was going to send us codes, I think closer to or right at release or something. It's like, all right, I'll download and check it out when it drops. And then randomly, they're like, here you go. So, oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and download this and check it out. And what was cool is they did let me transfer my save data from the PS5 to the Switch 2. So I was able to immediately jump 18 hours into the game on the Switch 2. So I could go to different planets that would take a while to get there, obviously. And the game is significantly better in terms of the port, the technical side, than I was expecting. I mean, it's good for Ubisoft to have that kind of a turnout for it, because people are already really skeptical with Ubisoft in general with some of their releases. This is a high quality port for the Switch 2, and it shows off what the system can do with ray tracing, streaming in assets rapidly, the whole thing. So while the game itself, I would prefer that Respawn and EA bring over Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. There you go. People who want Star Wars game drop this week. Now I just need Fallen Order and Survivor to get over to the Switch too, because those are the real Star Wars games. People, I'm telling you, gotta get those going. What do you guys think of? You played Outlaws, OJ?
Yeah. I played it for about 4 hours or so, which is more than I thought I was gonna play it. To be honest, and yeah, it's a good port. It's got the updates. I know I was following the game, so I knew like what happened at launch on the PS5 and how like the stealth segments were kind of like forced, and you know they didn't give you like an opportunity to potentially get out of it. So it just caused some issues. Like they patched all that stuff out. They made the game like better. So then like this, I guess the Switch version, you know, came with the DLC, comes with all those updates, and is also pretty technically good. You know, not bad. Not at the 60 frames, which is, you know, definitely not, you know, it'd be better if it was at 60, but considering the, you know, the quality of the game, I can understand how they went with like a stable 30. So, but yeah, it's a solid game. To me, it's like a 7 or 8 out of 10 type game. It's not bad. I enjoy it. Like the shooting feels good. I think the shooting does feel really good overall to play, and I'll probably play more of it. I'll actually probably play more, which is, like I said, I didn't think I'd even play more than like just an hour or two just to get, just to, review it or whatever, just to talk about it for work. But it's actually kind of fun, and it plays good portable mode too. Like it actually looks pretty good portable.
That's the one that surprised me the most, was the portable mode, because I transferred the save back and forth from PS5 to Switch 2 a couple of times, and I used the idea of, hey, it's a better experience portably over the PlayStation Portal to just play on the Switch 2, because it's just more responsive and the image quality looks better and stuff there natively. And then transferred over to the PS5 if I want to play, with like high-end 4K 60 FPS, all that stuff. That I like the cross save stuff. It's worth it to me to actually sign in to Ubisoft to utilize that.
Yeah, if there's one thing that Ubisoft does better than most publishers is cross save. They have it pretty much with every game across all the different platforms. They did it with Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. They have it with that one Breath of the Wild, Kid Icarus thingy, whatever that was. What was the name of the game? I forgot the name. I played it though.
The game that originally was you're talking about Phoenix Rising, the game that was like gods and monsters, and then
that game
got mad at them and they had to change the name.
yeah. So like they do that all the time, and it's really good, especially for this game. I think it's super good for this game because you might want to have that experience where you play it on your PS5, docked and all of that, or on your TV, and then you can just take it on the go portable, and it's pretty fast, like to upload your save, and it can access it on anything if you have Xbox or if you have PC, whatever the case is. So that's one thing Ubisoft does do better than a lot of publishers out there.
I'm not Canadian. Someone mentioned $1 billion as well. So I'm in the US. You can send it over. There was a conversation about me being Canadian. I'm like nowhere near Canada.
10 years, not a single A dropped in video.
Right. I know, right? Yeah, you'd know pretty quick then. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Star Wars Outlaws, though, game itself, port, very good. But I get it. There are people who are probably like, I want a Star Wars experience on the Switch too.
Yeah.
There you go. And if you want to see what the Switch 2 can actually do, technical wise, that's a good showpiece.
That's the big thing with this game more than anything, because people were starting to make up dev kit lore and stuff. With some of the other games that came out, and it can't do it and it can't handle this, and then this game comes out and they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, my bad. Like, okay, that's true. That it can do whatever, right? It can get it done, and with the right developers, of course, with the right time. Because Daemon X Machina dropped on the 5th, and it's not a good port. It's
really unfortunate.
Yeah. It plays better, like way better on the Steam Deck. Like they made the game for Xbox and PlayStation and then decided to port it to Switch 2 and didn't take the time. So it was an exclusive on Switch 1. They never ported over the first game, to PS4, Xbox One. And I haven't seen a single one of my mutuals that are into PlayStation or Xbox say like, oh yeah, I'm getting Daemon X Machina Titanic Sun. Like, none of them even talked about it. So I don't know the strategy there, but hey, it's their game. They can do whatever they want.
The interesting thing about that you mentioned with the moving from PS5 and Xbox Series to Switch with Daemon X Machina, Star Wars Outlaws did that, and it was mentioned that the reason they used the game key card is because the cartridge is too slow for the assets they were streaming in. And this started up a whole thing around game key cards once again, because when you use game key card, it just downloads it to your storage device, your micro SD Express card, or the internal storage. And those apparently are fast enough for what they were looking for. Although I will say the micro SD Express is still like 50% slower than the internal storage. And it's twice as fast as the game card that was being alluded to. So I guess that's kind of the threshold, like 700 or 800 megabytes a second is what they were looking for, but couldn't get it out of the game card. So even if they could have spent the money to get a cartridge like that, it wouldn't have worked from a technical standpoint for them. So this has now brought up the question of like, oh, is the game key card going to be necessary for some of these SSD reliant titles?
This is how they begin the spin, make it positive. You want your good games? You want your games to look nice, run nice? Key cards, be okay with them.
Might be. Now, at this point, the only thing I can think of to solve this problem, because I don't think they're gonna all of a sudden upgrade the game cards. I mean, I guess they could, but they're already expensive now. It's like how much more expensive are these things going to get if they change the controller chips out and all of a sudden they're twice as fast now? I don't know what kind of prices we're dealing with there, but I mean, it's to the point where you may as well install the game off the cartridge now. Like, you may as well. And maybe not for every game, but if a game requires it, it's like, yeah, we put it on the cartridge. You gotta install it. That's how it is. But a warning pops up, and it's like, instead of downloading from a server, you install off the cartridge. It'll take 10 minutes. I don't really know any other solve for it, other than just stick with the game key card.
I personally wouldn't want that for every single game. But that would start getting confusing. Which cartridges have an install to it, which don't. But I would like them, if they could, keep actual physical games. Don't do it like PlayStation and Xbox do, just because that's the only thing that we have left of anything that plays off of like a cartridge. Like, it's just the Switch 2. That's it. Everything else is you install it, like, it's not actually going off of the card itself. So I wouldn't want that to become a thing. Now they all just do the same thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. People have no problem. But if you wanted to know my biggest situation, my problem that I had going from PS3 to PS4 was the requirement of that. I did not like that at all. And I know people, like I said, people have pretty much forgot about it. But there was a little bit of controversy with that back then. It didn't take long for people to just say, screw it, whatever. But there was, back on like N4G and stuff, people saying, wait a minute, hold up. We gotta install it to our memory. We used to be able to play the 360 and PS3 games off the disc. But, they got rid of that. So I would like it to stay. But I mean, whatever they decide to do, it's whatever. You know?
I'm thinking more in place of the game key cards. Like, so instead of it saying game key card internet required, it says, I don't even know what term they would use. They'd have to come up with some new term, but it's like, instead of downloading it, you can use this off. Like if you buy it from the store and you get on a plane, you can still install it because it'll come off the cartridge. Just understand it's going to take 10 minutes for the data to transfer over. So something like that.
I mean, you just got to be like space on system required or something.
Yeah.
Like, so 20 gigabytes would then install onto your internal storage, your SD card, rather than we're going to download 20 gigabytes and drop it on there.
Okay. Yeah. That would be, like I said, yeah, they'd have to think of the marketing with that, you know?
Yeah. That's the only thing. Cause that's the big thing that seems to be really tripping people up with the game key cards, is that the data isn't on the cartridge. Like, to me, if everything's on the cartridge and if this thing's offline, but the cartridge will still work by just installing it, it's like, I mean, the data's still there. You still have a copy of the game technically. It's not like the latest patch or anything is there, but that's how it would be with a cartridge anyway. You pop in, it would still have to go get a patch for day 1 or 1.1 or whatever. So that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know if they can all of a sudden make that happen retroactively going forward or something with the OS and stuff they have set up, but that's and then also the cartridges will still cost money. They're not just, I don't know how much cheaper they get then, if at all, but that's the only out I can come up with, because the cartridges apparently are too slow for certain third-party games. I don't think they'll be too slow for Nintendo, because they build for the Switch from the ground up, or Switch 2. But if you get another game that relies on an SSD type speed and the cartridge doesn't provide that, you're not going to use the cartridge anyway. Interesting situation. What do you think, Celia? How do you feel about that, Celia, as one of the collectors out there that isn't a fan of game key cards? What if you had to just install it off the cartridge?
I don't know. I think that's an okay compromise with things, but I'm still bitter about not having the full game on the cartridge. And I know we're being like, well, like the time's changing, but it's like, no, we should be vocal. Like, I want PlayStation and Xbox to go back to putting the game on the disc and not needing that. I just care more about game preservation looking forward. And it's a scary place to be. And I know we've talked about this plenty of times before, but it's just it's worrisome. So I hope there's other options for developers, and also if you're able to go full physical, I think that's a good choice. If you're able to, of course, costs and a lot of other things go into it, but hopefully there's a brighter future for all of us.
Speaking of brighter futures and game key cards, 007 First Light. It's on a game key card, but we did get we did get a state of play for it. It's like 30 minutes of gameplay for this thing.
Great looking
Hitman
game.
It's coming from IO Interactive, and they'll be publishing this one. Just they also published Mind's Eye, just in case anyone was curious. But they are publishing this one. They showed it off. It's coming out. It's coming out next year. What was the release date? Was it March? I had it written down, and then
they really paid Sony for that state of play, huh?
Well, I think March 27th, 2026. Yeah, so
they really paid them for that state of play. I don't know why they paid them for that state of play.
They were going through the game, right? And I'm like, all right, I see the Hitman influence here. Got it. But it eventually did turn into like an action movie, like a Bond film almost, all the stuff happening. And all right, I see it. I see the vision. But man, once things started exploding, it was rough. I was like, it was weird that that's the footage they chose to show, because that frame rate went crazy when things started blowing up. And man, there were so many red tanks and barrels. They just kept happening. It's like, why does this airplane have so many of these things?
It's an explosive factory. They gotta make explosives.
You gotta fuel the plane somehow. It's gotta sit there.
Acres, bro. I thought it was freaking Looney Tunes, bro.
After the first explosion and we saw what happened with the frame rate, I was like, this guy's going to skip these other red barrels. Nope. He just started taking them all out. I'm like, oh, all right, there we go. And it wasn't great.
Look cool though. Like
they did.
Yeah, they look great graphically.
So did all the stuff in the plane flying around every time it shifted.
Yeah, that was rough too. It's like, man, anything with like physics or anything, it's just, it was a struggle for this thing. And I know they said it's like alpha footage, which is fine.
Yeah,
but they know the footage that's about to be shown, and it's interesting that they were just like, yeah, it's cool. It's good. Unless they
Still
really
got a
that
lot
was
of
the
time
best
before the game comes out, so I'm not worried about the
March.
frame rate, to be honest.
End of March. Yeah. Because the rest of it I thought looked cool. Like your Bond starting out early on, right? And you see him kind of being brash at times and trying to investigate and figure things out in the best course of action. And then eventually everything just goes sideways and all the red barrels explode, which is what you expect in a Bond film like that. But I like the idea of kind of starting from ground zero, like the beginning for 007, as that could then also lead into multiple sequels and stuff. We'll see with Hitman. They love doing that. So I like what I saw otherwise. I think visually it looked good. All the voice acting, mocap, all that stuff looks solid. So I'm into it. I am. It looks different enough, I think, than Hitman. Looks more action packed. But I'll be picking it up when it comes out. Be curious to, once again, that'll be another interesting one to see how it runs on the Switch too. At this point, Star Wars Outlaws did well enough that people are like, all right, yeah, I might be checking that out. So we'll see. Next year, March 27th.
Hoping to do better than Mind's Eye.
Oh yeah. So there was an interview with IO, their IO Interactive, the CEO there, and he was talking about it with them, and he's like, because they were asking him what's next for your publishing arm after
you can almost
Mind's Eye.
hear
He's
the
like,
tiny violin in the background. They're just like, I think we give up.
He just said we'll see. He said we'll see what the future holds for that publishing arm. It's like, wow, Mind's Eye really did that kind of damage. Oh man,
Dang, we'll see. Hit him with the we'll see.
And it was correct. Like they were, because they're doing this one themselves. They're like, this is part of their publishing arm, but it's a game they're making internally. So it almost sounds like if we do this again and publish something, we're gonna have to be a little more involved than Mind's Eye, because that was rough. That was rough. Yeah, so their name is just, their publishing arm is just completely attached to Mind's Eye. So Leslie Benzie's got one over on him basically with that. Okay. Celia,
Yeah.
I got a retro topic.
Oh,
I think you
yay.
might like.
Ooh, I like retro topics.
People got a kick out of some of the retro talk last week. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So we'll do the retro topic. We'll talk about some of the direct predictions after that, and I'll get to some of the super chats for anyone who was dropping those there that I see all the comments. Okay. So the retro stuff we talked about last time had to do more so with, we were talking about like 6th generation and stuff, mostly pre-Fortnite. That was the big thing, because Sean was like, Fortnite ruined everything. I'm not completely out on that. You might be onto something there, okay? But
I wouldn't say he's that off.
Yeah.
You know?
But I thought back to a generation, Celia, that I know you're familiar with, and it's a handheld generation.
Mm-hmm.
The Game Boy.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what's really funny about the Game Boy, and I look at it, right? The thing that most people think about with the Game Boy is Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right. But Pokemon didn't debut until like, more than halfway through the generation in Japan. And then we got it like a year or two later in the US. That actually came in pretty late for the generation. So people do not think at all about the early days of the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like even a little bit. So like the best selling game is what? Super Mario Land on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Celia, when did you first get a Game Boy?
Okay. So I was in, I want to say 2nd grade, because my sister was in 5th grade and she brought, like, that's when Pokemania like first hit the US. So, yeah, like late 90s. I want to say
that's what I thought. Okay. So I have a feeling a lot of people got the Game Boy when Pokemon hit.
Yeah.
That's my belief.
That was like our starter game. Well, no, technically, our first game was Super Mario Land. And you like the one with like the clear cart, and like you have Mario and Luigi like kind of running Super Mario Bros. I don't remember the exact name of it. So that was our first game. And then we got Pokemon, and that took over my entire life. Like my sister and I fought over the Game Boy. So we had to get another Game Boy, and my dad was pissed.
Yeah, because Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue sold over 31 million copies. Which is like ridiculous.
Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. There we go. Big V in chat said it. Okay. Yeah, that game was my first technically. But yeah, no, we got that, and then it like exploded from there. Are we just gonna name games we like? What's
Well,
the discussion?
Tetris sold 35 million. I was
Yeah, but
curious.
that
what
was
people's-
packing, and they always
Yeah,
count
yeah, it was
packing as a
packing, yeah.
sale.
I was curious what people's history was with the Game Boy, because I was kind of wondering where people started with, if a lot of people really did in the States get it for Pokemon, because I feel like that was kind of the move.
Well,
A lot of people asked for it. I had the brick Game Boy before Pokemon, but not that much before. I think it might have been the year prior I got it. And I feel like I want to say I had Kirby on it.
Nice.
I think. And I want to say I had Link's Awakening. I had those two games, I believe. But that was it. Those are the only two games I had for the longest time until Pokemon came out. And the Pokemon mania at that time was crazy. Oh my gosh. When Pokemon, because we got word, I remember this. I was on the internet way too early. It might have been irresponsible parenting. I'm not sure. But I was on the internet very early, and we found out about Pokemon before it got here.
Whoa.
And there was this whole thing about how crazy this franchise, this new game, this new series called Pokemon was like really picking up in Japan. And I was like, that's interesting. Okay. And then, because I would look up like Dragon Ball and stuff, that was like, they would get all the cool stuff in Japan before we even found out like the future timeline and stuff.
There's yellow hair.
It sounded all crazy. I'm like, none of this makes sense.
That sucked too, by the way. It took a while for us to get that crap.
No, yeah. I think the last episode was the episode before he went Super Saiyan, right? That we had on loop. It was like shortly before. It was like the episode before.
It was like right before on Planet Namek.
Yep. It's like lightning coming down. He gets angry, and then it's just like next time, like 10 years from now or whatever.
They would do crazy shit too. They would take it all the way back to like Snake Way. I crashed out before that was a thing. That was a crash out. I can't out, bro. I crashed out.
It would restart. Crazy. Raditz was like getting Earth or something. It's like, what happened? We were just on Namek.
He was on. They skipped it to where it was. They finished the Raditz thing. They didn't play all that. They just did it to where Goku was on Snake Way, and I was like, my.
So, let me tell you how big of a deal this was with Pokemon. It was because it was seen, they had like the show and stuff in Japan that was happening, the manga and stuff, all that was going on. It would slowly creep into all these other fandoms that were more discussed online on like forum, like early forums. So there was Gundam, Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon. These were all things that were super popular to discuss. And then randomly, someone would just start talking about Pokemon. And it's like, yo, this new thing's going on in Japan, Pokemon. And I'd see it occasionally. And then I swear it randomly at the mall. I feel like this was 97 or something.
I've said before, Toys R Us sent me their first episode on VHS to test it in the US, like before it launched.
That's so cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, they were advertising Pokemon, and it was like the super old looking artwork with Ash and Pikachu. And it's like what's on the front of the game cartridge, if you look at it for yellow, kind of like that kind of artwork. And I was like, Pokemon, okay. And then you just see how popular this thing already is. And I'm like, that was one of the first times I looked around. I'm like, are these the Sailor Moon people? Like, is this what I'm seeing right? Are these the foreign people? Like, how do they know about this?
I remember seeing it like just it felt like it just came out of nowhere for me. Like I didn't get all the marketing beforehand, and then Cartoon Network was just like, we've got a new show, it's called Pokemon, and I was like, this looks cool.
Wait, how old were you guys when this came out? Because I remember I was like 8. I was like perfect Pokemon age.
In 97 I would have been 10.
Yeah, probably.
Oh no, I wasn't 8 then. I was like 5. Never mind.
That's when I first saw it.
I misremembering.
Whoa, look at this. So we didn't get it till 90. We didn't get to 98, if I'm remembering correctly.
But I watched the show first. I think I watched the show first, and the show was freaking incredible. And then everyone started getting like the game. I didn't have a Game Boy, and then I asked for one, and I know my mom got me one. I got a Game Boy Color, and I started playing it, and it took over my life, man. Pokemon just became everything.
My sister came home from school. Like we were picked up at the same time, but I think I had something. And she like reached in her backpack and she pulled out like 2 like obviously fold up Pokemon cards that like her friend bent or something and gave it to her. And she's like, this is Pokemon. We are going to ask Dad for more packs. And I was like, okay, like I didn't know what it was.
The addiction.
No, she literally was no, dude. She collects Labubus now. Okay, she's like the
Just
feeder,
different
like
addiction.
all collection things. Anyways, yeah, she was like, "This is gonna be our thing," and like that changed my life forever. God, I love
Yeah.
Pokemon.
The Pokemon cards, I had some neighbors next to me, and they were playing it, but this was a little bit later. Then I started saving up any money that I could get to get Pokemon cards. So I was going to the Pokemon League at Toys R Us. They used to have the Pokemon League, and I
Yeah.
would go there every single weekend. I'd go on the bike and I would go play. And there was this fat, smelly ass dude, and he cheated all the time. I beat him one time, and my friend's dad was like, "Yeah, you beat him," and he bought me like 2 extra packs, and I was so freaking happy. And I won the Pokemon League, and I got like some more extra cards. Like if you win, they give you like a gift card and like an extra packs, and I was so happy. But I never beat his fat ass again. But he's a cheater. But anyway.
We had a league near here. It was like it's Days of Nights, right, Evan?
Dude, that league's still going.
It's
Like,
still going, dude. You have to go around back of the place, and they would like it'd be like this thing where they kind of look around, and
it's the back room
in the back, and you'd walk in, and it was like a whole different world. But you get little badge. I remember I got a little badge for one of the events.
They used to give badges. Now it's just you play. Like it's that weird, awkward adult thing now, where it's just like,
oh, back then it was more kid. It was.
No, yeah,
definitely more kids back
then.
They
did more events. They pushed to just bring the fun from everything into it. But the store owners are kind of like, it keeps the lights on, but why do we care?
It was a lot, but back then it was hopping that for Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah,
and it was a bunch of kids, and then there was always that one guy who just dumped all of his money into it, and you're like, okay, dude, I come on, man, I ask for a pack here and there, okay? Dude, you got the whole binder full.
And those people you had to try, because like back then the game was so simplified back then. So there were certain, who just dump truck money into certain decks, like Rain Dance deck, right? Where you just have like Blastoise and you just do Rain Dance and you just destroy people. You had to get crafty back then, man, because they didn't have as many tools as you have now at this point. So for me, it was like, I'm just gonna go like Haymaker and like remove energy, and that was like kind of like my strategy, like in the early days of playing the game. It doesn't work now in today's day, but it worked back then.
In modern Pokemon leagues, is there like money in it?
Yes.
Like lots of money? Because I know the Magic the Gathering ones have tons of money, which is why people build like $12,000 decks for that. And then
I literally was at Worlds last month.
Okay. And it's decent for money. All right.
It's like 35 grand.
That's about
for some of the championships, but like then it goes down from there. So if you're like in the top, like I think it's like 26, like you're earning something. So like there was like this I went to like a restaurant or whatever after Worlds, and this one lady who was like a server was like, wow, like this is a big deal, huh? And I'm like, yeah, like it's pretty popular. And she's like, yeah, like this one lady I just served, like her kids were competing and like they've been training for this and they're like 8. And like it's a whole thing. But yeah, you can earn a lot of money.
I mean, that's training from 8. We had people, the last time I did the Magic the Gathering League locally, there was a guy that showed up that no one knew, and he just found out there was like $100 tournament, and he was just like, I'll head out that way, whatever, and just kicked all of our asses with a deck he fully purchased individual cards for, and then just left.
If you're that young though, like your parents,
this guy was like 40
for you. Oh, never mind.
Like that's what he does. He just goes to everything and just gets $100 here, $200 there. That's why Arcana, when Disney Arcana came out, I think that's the right name, their card game, they were giving stores money to do leagues because that's why they wanted it to get big. They wanted to pull those people into it who were just like, oh, I could pre-build my deck and just dirt stomp some nerds and make some money. It's like weird, but okay.
I really wanted to bring it because a lot of this is correlated. People don't, maybe people do understand, but like the Pokemon craze is completely correlated to the Game Boy sales, especially if you look at the charts for it. It's the biggest years of the game. The Game Boy came out in 1988. Okay, that was like 1988 to 1989. That was like its first real run of like 380,000 systems. Okay, but the best years the system had was 98 to 99, 99 to 2000, 2000, 2001, where it rattled off like 20 million systems selling. So the best years came almost 10 years after it released because of Pokemon.
Yeah.
So It's absolutely ridiculous to think about that.
I think to a degree that was strength of community though, because I mean the Game Boy had the ability to connect to other Game Boys and play, but like no one did that. There was when you play Battleship. Did you play Battleship? I played Battleship. That was great. But when you go to
shortage of link cables,
when you go to school and it's like that's what you have. You got people with Super Mario and like Operation C. There's no reason to be like, oh, let's get link cables. I'm gonna get a console and stuff and play. Then Pokemon drops, and it's how all kids are in school, where it is like a trading card game or Pogs or something that all the teachers hate because it starts to involve gambling, and then kids cry to their parents because they lost the good cards or Pogs, and then it becomes this whole cycle where the teachers take that from kids because they're just like, it's cards, it's inexpensive, we'll just take them from them and not give it back. You take a Game Boy from a kid from a family that Game Boy is a little expensive for, those parents will be in your school ready to fight to get that shit back. So like you were pretty safe with a Game Boy. So all the kids were just like, yo, this is an electronic card game. So let's just do this.
Here's the other part of this though. Someone asked in the chat if the Game Boy, when it had come out, or even like around Pokemon time, what price the Game Boy was, because that would play into this as well. The Game Boy Color, when it came out, was less than $100. I think it was like $70 or $80, something like that. Even if you convert it over inflation and stuff, that's like if a system came out now next to something as big as Pokemon, a craze like that, and it was like $140 for the handheld right now. It's like, yeah, it's gonna sell really well. So like the stars aligned with Pokemon in this thing. And then, dude, I gotta say, I wouldn't be shocked. There's like a split in terms of this massive jump. I mean, going from March 99 to March 2000. Yeah, it was 9 million units.
Lit.
And I was trying to remember when the first Pokemon movie came out.
2000.
It was because Pokemon 2000 was the second. So
okay.
It was
November
1998
1999.
Oh, 1999. Okay.
Close.
I see it right now. That was a ridiculous event when that happened too. It was a really big deal. So Burger King had the gold like things you could buy with the Happy Meals or something. It was crazy.
Dude, it was crazy. Dude, collecting all the cards for seeing the movie was nuts. My dad went to go see Pokemon several times to collect me all the cards, and it was really, really cool of him. He just took naps in the theater, to be honest.
Now we got the weirdos just jumping in on the Van Gogh thing just to like get all the cards and leave.
Yeah, no, it was cool though. He took me a couple times and then he like braved the rest. It was the coolest thing ever.
And my mom didn't take me in. She was like, you go on your own.
Oh.
You go by your damn self.
I was like, I ain't watching that shit. I mean, she didn't say it that way. She started to go, nah, go ahead and go have fun. Yeah, here's some money. Go.
Later, nerd.
That's what she used to always do. I don't have any money now, but come back later now, and I'll give you. I'm like, all right, mom, no problem, because we were broke as hell, but she did her best.
Oh yeah, no, it was amazing.
That's what a lot of us think about when we think about the Game Boy. It's that Pokemon craze. It's like linked at the hip, that whole thing. So it was massive for him. It launched with the Game Boy Advance. I mean, it's got its own Pokemon games, backwards compatible, whole thing.
Dude,
that was it.
Random note, but okay. Remember on Kids WB, they would have those random sweepstake contests.
Mm-hmm.
A kid in my class, won the Game Boy SP Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire contest, and he got it before everyone else. And never in my life did I want to rob a child before. Like I knew stealing was wrong, but it would have been okay for
Grand Theft Celia.
But like he brought it around. Like he brought it in school, and like Brian was like the nicest kid. Like he was so kind. Okay.
Kids now. Here we go.
No, okay, it's fine. There's a million Brians. It's like it's
Brian's watching right now, and he's like, I knew it.
He's like that bitch. No, I'm kidding. But I definitely he was really nice, and he like let me play it, and he's like, look how cool it is. Like I have these Pokemon, like whatever. And I contemplated just stealing it from him.
Let me hit you this one too, Celia. So I mentioned that we had the ability to see a lot of the stuff happening on the forum before it happened, right? Before it got here with Pokemon. We got red and blue. Green was out there. We weren't sure if that's what was going. We got red and blue. Yeah. But before gold and silver came out, it was crazy online once again. All right. So we got word that was happening because it released in Japan before it came out here. But guess what else happened? And I remember this specifically. Okay. Not to implicate myself in any of this, but Gold had its ROM dumped online. It leaked online. So what happened was people were racing to try to translate it, and there may or may not have been a 40% translation of the game that was circulating around near my school at the time.
I had no idea about all that.
Okay, this is a big thing.
Yeah.
I remember this was happening, and I was like, I wonder how that plays on my computer. I guess I'll never find out. Anyway, it ran at like 3 frames per second, but it was crazy because one of the early things that happens in the game is a red Gyarados, and that was one of the parts that was not translated. So we were trying for months to figure out why there was a red Gyarados in a Pokemon game. And it was crazy times back. Eventually it came out here, obviously, and we knew then. But that was something else that happened. People got the copy of the game early because it leaked out online. So Nintendo's been dealing with this for a long time.
Dude, that's nuts. I had a magazine, like I think it was like a Famitsu magazine or something. Because we had a family friend that was, like they lived in Japan, like they had family out there. So they would go like back and forth from the States to there. So like they would get us like video games. My Game Boy camera is the Japanese one because like that was like a gift that they had brought me as well. And I remember telling my friends about all the cool things I saw in this magazine, and like no one believed me because obviously I can't speak Japanese. I don't know what any of this means. Like I'm like, yeah, like there's an owl. He has 1 foot. Like, come on. Like it sounds weird. So yeah, I was really thankful once my friends came over and realized I was not lying. I have a lot of trauma with Pokemon, I realized.
Well,
a lot of things to complain about.
Pokemon cause all sorts of man. I've seen people get their ass whooped over Pokemon. Dude, I had dudes try to run up on me, man. I said, y'all messing with the wrong guy, though. I had dude run up on me trying to get my Charizard. He got foot swept and roundhouse kicked. So I had people try to jump me too. So I mean, like,
dude, I had like
it was worse than that too. We had people get beat up bad. We had people get their stuff stolen, man. There's been all sorts. So you're not alone, Celia. There's been other drama that I've dealt with too.
Yeah, dude, like one of my very, very good friends, like, we're still good friends. Like I went with her to Worlds, okay? Like we've been friends for years. I remember when Gold and Silver was out, that's like when like I think when we were in high school, the batteries started to die. Like it was like the first round of that happening with Game Boy Color. And I was like, oh, like, do you know the duplication cheat or whatever? And she was like, oh, no. And I'm like, oh, I can duplicate any Pokemon you want. And so she picked one and I did it. And then like the day later, her battery died in her Game Boy Color. And she was like, you ruined my game. And she was so mad at me. And I think like we had a conversation about it like a couple years ago. And she's like, oh, yeah, the battery totally died. And I was like, I felt so bad. For years. So funny.
Anyone try to push the truck out of the way?
Yeah, I spent months.
Yeah, because that man, some buster, man. He was like, yeah, man, you gotta just gotta do it like this.
Yeah, spam strength or whatever on it.
And there's a Mew underneath there. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay.
Okay. Did you guys fall for all the other fake hack things? Okay, because
I remember about the one where you hold certain buttons when it comes on and it just deletes your save file.
No, okay.
That was a solid one.
On Pokemon Blue cheats. I think I just googled that.com or whatever. I think they used to be a
Pokemon Blue cheats. That sounds like a virus waiting to happen.
No, I literally like would just type in like my early like uses of the internet was like Pokemon Blue cheats.
Just using the search bar like Google, just putting .com at the end of everything.
Yeah, okay. I was a child, okay. Anyways, there was this cheat, like, because like some of them did work, and like the truck really was there, couldn't figure it out, but it was there. And so there was this one cheat where if you talked to Ash's mom like 100 times, she would battle you. That was like a fake, obviously, thing. But child me tried, and like he pressed A like 100 times to do it. And when it didn't work, I thought I did it wrong, so I did it again to be sure. It was awesome.
It was an interesting time back then. Yeah, the truck one was funny. That's one of the one of the legendary myths that got passed around.
Well, that was a legend.
Social media.
That was a legendary myth, but there was the one that people still do to this day is massively tapping one of the keys for capturing a Pokemon better.
Oh, hold B. It works.
Well, yeah, hold
Yeah.
B.
Okay.
But I don't know if that
Evan,
actually works.
Sure.
No, Evan, you non-believer.
Sure.
Okay?
Yep.
Heretic.
Absolutely.
Wasn't
Yeah,
it like
but
up
I
A
still
or
do it. I
something,
still
or
hold
up
down
B?
B. I still do that to this day.
I think I honestly, in other games where you have like a % chance to do something, I do that. Like it just goes to everything now.
Yeah. No, it's lucky. No, I do that with Dragon Warrior monsters because it works. It doesn't.
Well, those are good times back then. The blissful ignorance of just playing Pokemon on the couch while watching Toonami.
I
Never
miss
get that
that.
back.
The best. Dragon Ball Z, you had, oh my gosh,
Oh.
it was so good.
Shout out to
Gundam
Tom.
Wing.
Not to derail the conversation, but Dragon Ball Z, the Game Boy Color game, Legendary Super Warriors. Was anyone else
Oh,
disappointed
is that like
by
Super
Legend?
Sonic? Wait, what was that?
Yeah,
was that
Super
Okay,
Sonic
it was
War-
the Game Boy
yeah.
Color. It was like the clear looking green cartridge thing.
Yeah,
And
had like
you-
Goku and Gohan on the
Yeah,
front. Am I thinking right?
I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be a fighting game, and I was so excited for a Dragon Ball Z
No, those were
fighting
always
game on
RPGs.
Game Boy Color,
Super Warriors,
and it was
right?
cards. They used cards.
Wait,
Yeah, it was like the Famicom
Like the Super
one
Nintendo
or the
one?
Super Famicom one. Yeah, that they used cards back then too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bullshit. I wanted a fighter.
Well, that's how they did it. That's what they were dealing with, the limited capabilities of the Game
I don't
Boy
care.
back then. Well, it was the good days. Let me go over to Casual Noob Gamer. Congrats, Silksong and the Casual Noob Gamer on YouTube. That's how you do it. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all you need. That's all. That's all. Casual Noob Gamer also asks, is Nintendine really Arlo in disguise? And they also
Oh
say
my
Celia
God.
really got her face tattoo removed. Thug Life.
She had to get the tear off from like all
Yeah.
the prison sentence she served.
Yeah, man, those were some crazy times.
Pickle Rick says Kronos Game of the Year, hit it out of the park. Well wishes RGT. I gotta get the Kronos eventually, man. There's too many games coming out right now.
Too many games, bro. And then for the Trails in the Sky's coming out in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to be on that too.
Yep. Oh. Beanie King says Steam Frame, legit console or fancy VR machine. The belief right now is it could be both, but the VR headset Deckard appears to be what people believe is going to happen, and that might be like a $1,300 headset. So
Totally affordable.
yeah. Necro Banana says, speaking of indies, anyone excited for Caves of Quad on Switch
Caves
2?
of God.
Ooh, wait, what's
I don't know what
this?
that is.
Well, I'm looking up right now.
I don't know if it's going to be a game for you guys, but
I wonder how many will think people are using Excel on their Switch too. Shout out to Necro Banana. I don't know.
yeah,
I
no,
just did
this is a very
Yeah.
in-depth game that I've been watching for a while now.
Robert Ramirez says, great podcast with the Sacred Symbols Boys, John. Thank you, Roberto. Appreciate it. It was fun. It's a good time. We'll have to get them together again. We had Colin one time on Click R3. So maybe get him or Chris, Dustin, and get one of them come over too. It was a good time though. Cash New Gamer says, if you have to install cart, Nintendo will have to give more storage. That's what I would assume. Maybe an OLED model down the line would be one of the easiest ways to sell an upgrade is to just upgrade the storage, because it's a number that people recognize as going up. So Almix says, if I weren't so deep in the PC hole, I'd be buying so many more physical copies. I always get any console exclusive I want to play physically.
You know, people push for PC exclusive, not exclusives, but PC like physical for some reason. That was like a weird conversation I had. Not weird, but I learned that like that's a thing that people want occasionally.
Is it?
Like 8 people.
I have physical
but,
PC
like,
games.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them. They meet.
I did-
on
Yeah,
Wednesdays.
because when we were doing the
well.
preliminary surveys for Mina to like figure out what physical options for Kickstarter backers, we were asked about PC a lot, and we were very surprised.
You get that thing on a DVD.
Right?
No,
Like, I was
USB
like, whoa.
stick. Just a little USB stick plugs into USB-C. Has very bad security. They just copy it,
Hey,
send it to other
I
people.
did
Yeah, oh boy.
Hey, I did a video on physical PC games, and dozens of people watched it. So
Hell yeah. Those 10 to
Hey.
24, man.
Hey, that Final Fantasy 7, that Final Fantasy 8, those are nice looking physical PC games.
The 10-disc games like Heavy Gear 2 and stuff.
Live
disc games?
GTA 5 is 7 discs.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
They
I have that.
It
up
was
here.
around the time of like DVD, and they're like, nah, CD. We're sticking to
Yeah.
it for a little while.
Well, that's the GTA 5 is 7 DVDs.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
On
Single
PC?
layer. Let's go.
Yeah, on PC. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yep.
It opens up. It's like it just keeps opening.
Nah,
The book
fam,
doesn't.
that's just-
World of Warcraft
and-
was 4, I think, is the first.
They couldn't go to Blu-ray.
grouping.
Yeah, the most I've ever Lost Odyssey was 4 on the Xbox 360. I remember
Yeah.
that.
I
That
want
was
to
the
say
most I
Diablo
ever
2
did.
was 2. There's some
This
bones.
is, yeah, because they had the expansion one too. It was like
The expansion was
no,
one on its
no.
own, but I'm pretty sure I had 2 discs for Diablo 2.
Living Legend says, who else misses the days when games came with manuals? I remember when PS1 exclusives used to come with colorful manuals and love the art. Yeah, it was
Dude,
awesome.
I miss that so much. Like I love manuals, and I miss like full art, like descriptions on like the back of game stuff. I don't know. I miss it. I miss it all.
I liked them when I was younger because mom or my dad never took me. My mom would take me, to go get the game, and you can read it on the way back.
Yeah, in the car.
Yeah,
Yep.
in the car. Wait,
was
hold on.
big.
I think my dad would just come home with games. Yeah, he never took me to go buy them. He would just come home with games at times, like from yard sales. So we would just get the cartridge back then sometimes. But when
Clean
my
the
mom would
blood
take
off
me,
his hands. Don't ask where that came from.
yeah, he would
Well.
just come back with from yard sales because people would be selling their NES cartridges all the time. But yeah, you can read it. Like my mom would take me to go get it like a game, like for Halloween or my birthday or something. My birthday. And yeah, you can read like the manual on the way home. See, like now it doesn't matter because like I'm the one who's driving, or I'm the one.
Your kids are on YouTube watching how to play it.
Yeah.
I can't read the manual on the way back, man. I got to drive.
Celia, Dalton says, Celia has Waddle Dee. The talking cat is the funniest thing ever. He is not entertained.
Okay, so this is Mr. Schmutz. He is my cat son. I have a lot of hats and little sunglasses for him, and he likes this hat. But he does have resting bitch face, so he looks pissed like 99% of the time. But he is a very cheerful cat.
I never knew that was a thing until Patrick Mahomes said that to his wife at the basketball game.
Oh,
And that
geez.
apparently was a thing when Patrick said it to us. I'm like, I never heard about that until he said it to his wife.
Before
No,
your next
or-
stream,
yeah,
I
yeah,
can
he said
show
it
you how
to
to
his
turn it into a PNG tuber avatar, so you could just have the little cat in the corner talking.
Oh my god, that's
That
a
would be funny.
good idea. I could also just put Schmutz in the chair, and then he can be your guest instead.
This is from GameCube. It says Game of the Year, Expedition 33 or Silksong. Well, it's
33.
still 33. I need to finish Silksong first, okay? Because I finished Expedition 33. I got to finish Silksong as well.
Yeah,
So.
for me, I mean, Silksong's definitely going to be in there. Donkey Kong for me is going to be in there, and Expedition for me is definitely those three.
Yeah,
for sure.
in that Mina game, like that sounds
Mina,
fun
I'm
to
telling-
be in there.
Hey,
listen,
look out.
Mina. I played Mina. It's actually really good, guys. If you haven't
Yep.
downloaded the demo, it's super
It's
good.
okay.
I'm
Be
not
sure to
telling-
pre-order.
Demo's gone.
Okay, there's no pre-order. The demo. Okay, so
when
it just
drops.
so we have limited time demos. It was on Steam. It was on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and it was just announced for the Xbox Indie Selects demo event. It's one of the featured games. They'll be announcing the full list of what's in that next week. Actually, I think on the 9th. So Mina's in there too. So if you play Xbox, you can play Mina.
RG says, my first game was Pokemon Blue with the Game Boy Color Kiwi Green, and shortly after I got Zelda Oracle Seasons. Yeah, those Oracle games are awesome. They're
Yeah,
really
dude,
good.
Oracle Seasons and Ages are incredible games. Same with Link's
Mhm.
Awakening. I had the turquoise Game Boy, and then I also got the red pink one. That's the one I bring around like literally everywhere.
I had that brick Game Boy last in a while, then I got that atomic clear purple one.
I have a DMG also somewhere.
Is that where Spawn Wave started with the purple?
Yeah,
Was
it
that-
might
was
have. It might have started there. I don't know. Man, it goes
the
back.
Game Boy.
You know,
I was looking up news on forums when I was like 10, well, apparently.
You know what's funny?
The purple started when I walked in a comic book store and 90% of the covers were in purple. And I went, yeah, this is a psychological thing. And just decided on purple.
What were you saying, Celia?
Oh, I was like, I looked over because I have my my OG like huge brick Game Boy in there, and I'm like, I have Super Mario Land 2 in here, and I think that's funny because we were talking about that. But you guys can't see because I'm voice only, so I'll show you next week.
Okay. Superman says 1985, I abandoned Pokemon after bullied in high school. Zoe says, I witnessed the Chuck E. Cheese mascot getting arrested on body cam. A first for me.
Wait, in real life, I saw the news article for that, and that is
Oh, really?
incredible.
But is it someone working at Chuck E. Cheese, or is it like a
Yeah,
weirdo
so-
running through a middle
no,
school in a Chuck E.
it's
Cheese
guy,
costume?
no, it was a guy that was arrested. He was working as the character mascot, okay? And
What?
like it was a pretty full Chuck E. Cheese according to the
There's
photos and
still
news
a
article.
Chuck E. Cheese. God
Yes,
damn.
but they changed the rat costume looks different now, okay?
Chuck a Cheese.
Yeah, that was Chuck E. Cheese was my father. Please call me. No, anyways, so for it, yeah, they arrested him in costume, and then they had him take off the mascot thing outside so it wouldn't kill the immersion. But I feel like watching him get arrested is definitely more of an immersion killer than the guy taking off the thing. I don't know, man.
Crazy.
They took off the mask. Did it feel like a real life Scooby-Doo body camera scene or something?
Right? Like, I don't know, man. Oh my God, it was. I hope he was like, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't.
It was
for
old man
Natalie
McGee the
Wood.
whole time.
Whoa.
Mecca Omar says us 90s kids should appreciate all those online lies like how to get Mew or the Triforce in Ocarina, because now we are sus of everything online. Yeah, we were
No,
just
we're not. No, we're
very
not.
well back then we were just very ignorant of everything. It was like, yeah, it's got to be right. Someone online said it. It's like,
Dude,
huh.
I believe because think about it. Like the Mew cheat, the truck was there, okay? The Glitch
was.
City not treat, the Glitch City cheat where like everything was all mumbled together. That was real, okay? There was like the duplication cheat, that was real. So why wouldn't?
Well, no, there is a video on how to get Mew.
Oh no,
Which-
yes,
yeah.
there is. I'm saying all of these things were actually real, okay? So why wouldn't all the other things be real?
Well,
So, we spent
Because this is a
years.
preview for modern times. How
Okay,
the
fair
internet
enough.
actually works.
Let's be real. We all wanted Mew to be under that truck. Like we were convinced.
Oh, yeah, so
that
bad.
it was real. You know what I mean? We're like, this truck is gonna move.
Because
Hell
why
yeah.
else was that truck there?
There was
Yeah,
no
exactly.
reason for that
There
truck
was
to be
nothing
there.
else there.
There was
It
no
just a
reason for that
truck.
truck to be there. No reason. Mew was underneath that truck, but he actually wasn't. But
I didn't care
felt
if it
that he
wasn't
was.
Mew. There had to be something under that truck. They
Yeah,
could have
there was
given me like a
No.
high potion or something. I'd be like, oh yeah.
No, there could have been like plans to let you follow after possibly or like surf in that area. So like they were planning on it and they just left the tiles in there. There could be a lot of things.
Sterling Jones says manuals over in-game tutorials.
Hey, what about manuals inside the game?
Oh, you mean like the like digital
Like
ones where you
like a
have to-
PDF
Yeah,
that
Mina.
launches.
Mina has one of those. We worked really hard on it. Please read it.
I just
Don't do
like
them
I still
physically,
like
I won't do
the,
them digitally.
the manual because now you open it up and they have the tabs for the manual, but no manual. It's very sad looking.
Ours is cute.
Austrius says, thanks for the show. What if the Steam Deck 2 debuts at $500 in 2028? What performance parity to like 1,500 PC handhelds of the time? I think Valve will come in with hardware that is more reasonable. I don't think they're going to go for super cutting edge. And I think they're just relying on their OS that they keep building up with Proton to kind of make up some of the difference. But Valve learned a good lesson with their Steam Deck at 400 is that they don't need to go for, oh, let's make this thing like that Lenovo Legion Go 2 that's $1,300 or $1,400 for the high end. Let's come in at a good price. And I think I still feel like they'd love to target 500 just with how prices are going up on everything, but we'll see what they can pull off in probably 2 years minimum, might even be 2028. I think they're content right now to wait for technology to get better. Claw says, Celia, a lot of us PC folks are ready to trade our digital library for shelves of PC physical boxes and well-drawn manuals. I still have Star Lancer and Freelancer on the shelf next to my console discs.
That's awesome. Yeah. Like, see, like there is an audience for that. I had no idea. So it's cool to hear. I love physical collecting as well.
Shadow Nexus says Mafia the Old Country is their game of the year. Shinru says Evan should make the next Spawncast shirts with congrats to Silksong. Everyone is a bug in the game. Million seller, I'd bet. There you go.
I can't wait to get sued by Silksong for this.
Yeah, like this is every time someone like gives me a shirt design, they're like, "Oh, this game's big. You should make a shirt based on that game." I'm like, "We didn't make the fucking game. I'm not putting that game on a shirt for us to get sued. That's not happening."
I mean, if you put Mita, I won't sue you. I promise.
Yeah,
I'm winking. I'm winking while I'm doing this. By the way.
DC Fat Cat says justice for Pepe Le Pew, who still serves 20 years.
They retired that man. They can't bring him back.
Yeah, they got him out of there quick.
They're like, uh-oh.
Jorge says, what's your favorite video game related media? The Street Fighter 2 animated movie, the recent Mario Brothers movie, and the early Fatal Fury movies are among my favorites.
You say the recent Mario. the original Mario.
Original.
John
Final Fantasy
Leguizamo
Spirits
is
Within.
boss.
Okay, do you guys remember the animated Legend of Zelda cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
it
do you
sucked.
remember the annotated series that was like hosted on YouTube?
Oh, the shortened stuff.
No, yeah, no, it was the full thing. But like they had like this open thing where anyone could add like annotation jokes like over like commentary of like what was happening on in the cartoon. And then they kept like the funniest ones. And so it was just a ridiculous, unwatchable mess, but also kind of funny.
I
No, I
no,
don't
I don't
remember
remember that.
Oh, you're missing
No.
out. It was great.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It was awesome. Good times.
I still like Advent Children. Still a fun movie to watch. There you go. That's a fun one. Killer says, I hid my stash in Diablo 2 box in high school. There you go. I guess it worked out. It's everything
The
there.
devil's lettuce and the devil's box.
That seems so outdated at this point. But I remember in high school, some people like, yeah, I'm hiding my stash. I mean, I never smoked, but it's just now you just see it out in the open. So it's like it was a really different world back then where you had to do all that, you know?
Yeah.
You work at a video game store that takes trade-ins, and you crack open some PS2 cases, and the person's like, "Oh shit, how'd that get in there?" And they pull it out.
That did happen. That actually happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's incredible.
man.
What game? Do you
Yep.
remember what games it was? Like, what were the chosen ones?
Probably Madden or
Madden.
NBA. Something.
It was yeah.
Honestly, it's either that or COD. It's one of
Yeah,
them.
COD,
Nice.
Madden. It's got to be it's got to be those. NBA 2K.
NBA, yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Some
what it was.
Barbie adventure game. Yeah.
Didn't think anyone would look there. Yeah, basically. Let's finish up with a couple of Nintendo Direct predictions, because there is a Direct that is, I'll still say rumored. People are pretty confident it's happening this week. Thursday or Friday. It seems like people are expecting Friday, which is interesting. Having it on a Friday is uncommon, we'll say, for Nintendo. But it is also the day before the Mario 40th anniversary, which would be on Saturday. So at this time, people are saying, what was that? There was a mention of games with 7. The theme of 7, I guess, was one that was mentioned. But there are some obvious ones in there. So we'll just start with Metroid Prime 4. That's obvious. We need Metroid Prime 4's release date. And anyone want to take a guess when it is? I'm still thinking like the final week of October, first week of November, if I had to take a guess.
Definitely not the last week of October. Dear God, don't do that to me. I'm hoping. I'm gonna hope mid-November. I feel like that would be nice.
Kirby
Pray
is
for me.
November 20th, so I don't think it'll be that close to that game.
What if December, like December 3rd?
They could do December. I mean, Nintendo's done December a number of times in the Switch 1 era. We got Xenoblade in December. We got Super Smash Brothers that came out December as well. So it's definitely possible for December too.
It's it is a first-person adventure shooter game, and we see a lot of first-person shooters come out around that second half of October, first half of November. So that's kind of why I'm thinking maybe that 30-day window. Metroid Prime 4 could slot in and actually kind of fit in a little bit, especially on the American audience.
Yeah, early November. I mean, that's a possibility. You know, they could do it to double
Couple
up.
weeks before Kirby.
Yeah, they did. Metroid Dread and Mario Party Superstars both came out in the same month back in October 2021. So it's always possible.
What if they announced early 2026?
That's
my bet.
Man,
we gotta wait
I
till
wait
then.
that long. Ready to play that game now.
Then in
Let's get
February,
that
they
rolling.
drop the delay tweet.
Lit.
I need Final Fantasy VII Integrate should get a release date. Elden Ring, I guess, will get a release date. Hopefully, we'll see. But with those ones out of the way, what do you think one of the other 7 games apparently is? Any guesses on that?
People are saying Call of Duty.
I saw Call of Duty come up a lot.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
You could put
people were
COD
saying
and
Ace
Metroid
Attorney
combo.
Ace Attorney 7.
Ace Attorney. But what's it called? Zach from Switch Force, who put that out there, he says that nobody's got it yet, and that's what Necro Felipe on Twitter was saying. He said those combination. He said Black Ops. He said Final Fantasy and Ace Attorney. He's like, nope, that's not it either. So
Mother 3.
Mother 7.
Yeah.
Killer 7 remake.
Hell yeah.
Killer 7.
I'd be down for that. I don't know how many other people would be.
No, probably no one. It'd be dozens of us will be excited.
Dozens.
You'll meet up with the physical PC people on the weekend.
Oh my
There
God,
you
that's
go.
so cool.
Dozens. That's the thing right now with after seeing Star Wars Outlaws, I think people are just like, man, any third party could pop up here. But also with the first party stuff, is there a big so with Nintendo now going through the holidays, this is going to, we assume, be their last like full direct of the year. They could still have a reveal, say it. They could have something Tokyo Game Show third party wise. They could have something at the Game Awards. Sure. But is there a specific game, big franchise that you maybe predict that they could have some kind of announcement here for? Not even like, hey, here's the brand new game, but kind of like how they did with even Zelda Tears of the Kingdom when they first mentioned that a sequel to Breath of the Wild is in the works. Can they tease something?
There'll be something, because anytime that we get a fall direct, there's always a big thing that they announce for early next year. They've done it. Animal Crossing was that game back in 2019 that they did. So that's definitely possible. Animal Crossing, or they did it one time for like Xeno. That was announced like at a fall direct. So yeah, it's definitely possible that we get something like that. New Monolith Soft title for early next year.
It feels like it should be. It feels like Monolith Soft. It seems like they'd be lined up to at least tease something. Be like, yo, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
Not even like this is the title. They could show an out of context clip of the world and maybe a character in a field or something. It's like, oh, okay, this looks different than Xenoblade, so it's not that. Just to kind of get the ball rolling. Maybe even say project something. They'll tell us like just like a placeholder name for something like that. That'd be kind of cool to see Monolith and kind of a vision of what they have planned for this new hardware after seeing what they did with the Switch 1 with something like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That would be awesome.
Then they announce patches for X.
Yeah,
1,
hey, there we go. See, now we're talking. Okay.
And 3, and that would be like the goated direct right there. I would be so excited. So I hope they do that. I really hope they do.
Any hopes and dreams over there, Celia?
Project GG.
I don't know. We won't get like a new mainline Mario game announcement. It's too early. But imagine if we did, like the teaser, like you see like Mario's feet and he's like dusting off like his like overalls or something and picks up Cappy again. Like, and then the crowd cheers. I cry. We all cry. God, I love Mario Odyssey. That's
for
not
different
happening.
reasons.
What?
For different reasons.
Okay, fair enough.
I will give something for the 7s, just as something to throw out there. Let's go with a Dragon Quest 7 remake.
That was another thing that
people
were. Yeah, there was another thing people were saying. It's possible Dragon Quest 7 as well.
Yep, I think it's gonna. I will say this. I kind of have a feeling it might be, say, 3DS kind of look visuals, but upscaled, redone somewhat, kind of like what we see with Bravely Default, that sort of thing. That's kind of what I'm expecting from it. I'm not thinking big remake.
Yeah,
thinking like medium tier remake for it.
Yeah,
is what kind of where I'm falling with that one. But I think that's very possible. I think that'd be kind of cool. If I have to think of like a big franchise from Nintendo that they would show up with, 3D Mario sounds crazy because we just had Donkey Kong. But man, 3D Mario makes a lot of sense right now. The Mario anniversary.
40th anniversary.
It's right there. Like, it all adds up to me. And it's been so long since we had the last Mario Odyssey, the last big 3D Mario. And Nintendo typically does have something 3D Mario related early on for a console like this. So the pieces all fit. And I think that would be for next year. But it'd be really cool for them to close out the show with that. Open with Metroid Prime 4, bookend it with a new 3D Mario. And then you can do whatever else you need to with the direct. And I think that would be enough people to be like, okay, that was really good. I'm looking forward to what we have here.
I still got to predict every time my Fire Emblem 4 remake. I'm sorry. Until this actually happens, I'm just going to keep on predicting it like Xenoblade X till it happens.
I hope that they also drop Pokemon Coliseum for NSO. I know that it's planned. We just haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
And I want to play it on NSO.
We just got Robo. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Gale Darkness would be fun to get. People are saying, though, that the Coliseum you'd get first and then you'd get.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, like, canonically in my life, I never played Coliseum. I went straight into Gale of Darkness, and that game was
Sure.
great. And then recently, I played some of Coliseum, and I didn't realize the writing was like that. And I want to play it like the full thing. So NSO
they got
chop.
They got a Star Fox Adventure remaster remake ready to go. I'm here for it, Mario.
You think they'll have anything Star Fox? You think that could be like a big?
Whoa,
that would be
cool.
If they, I wouldn't mind if they played around with the idea of contracting Star Fox out to somebody.
Yeah, do it again.
That would be cool.
They've done it multiple times now. They could do
you
it
think
again.
as an on-rail shooter, do they try to implement it into a different IP?
I don't know.
Would you mean like if you got out of the art, like you walked around and like there's more adventure elements to it as well?
Potentially, or maybe the Archwing's still involved pretty heavily.
I mean, when we had that, what was the game from Starlink from Ubisoft? They had something there with the structure, right? They had something there. What if they did a collaboration with Ubisoft and they helped make the next Star Fox game? That would be interesting.
If it's as good as that like the Star Fox parts with Starlink, I think there's something there, you know?
I'd be okay with that. Anyway, Friday, we'll see. An interesting time for a direct, so maybe Wednesday we get the announcement. We'll see. Shinru says, Spawn did the Halo ODST stuff. Get you back. Oh, and Helldivers too. Also, should Sony's live service endeavor stop with Marathon? Because I doubt it'll last. Now, Sony's going to keep running into the wall over and over again. It's just there's too much potential money there. I don't think they'll stop, unfortunately, because I would prefer them to stop and just accept that Fortnite is just going to keep paying them money every quarter anyway. And I unfortunately, no, I didn't get a chance to fire up Helldivers 2. I'm playing like 4 games at once right now. It's like, oh, here comes the live service Helldivers 2.
Yeah, there's not time to be playing like those endless games, you know?
Yeah, the casual noob gamer says it's Mario's 7th 3D Mario game.
Hell yeah.
Suited for Gaming says, have you heard about the potential micro SD to M2 SSD adapter in the works Switch 2? It will save a lot of money for people who want to get additional storage, and Nintendo didn't shut them down. I saw that. It looked a little weird because it seemed like it would kind of stick out of the kickstand flap. I have to look back into the project to see if they figured some of that stuff out. It's been a while since I've checked it, but if they get it worked out, I'd be interested just from like a modding standpoint to see how that goes. And the Robot Chicken says the Pokemon promo VHS is wild. It's got Giovanni just listing the stuff you can buy. Gotta buy it all. He just tells you to buy everything, huh?
Wait, really? Like,
I'm trying to remember. I know it was the first episode, but I know there was also stuff about the products that Toys R Us was going to be getting based on Pokemon.
I want to watch that. That sounds fun.
You might be able to just find it on YouTube as a
I'm
full
pretty sure that's been documented.
But yeah, it's the Toys R Us specific VHS.
I don't know if I've ever like talked about with you guys like my love of like off-model Pokemon merchandise. Oh yeah, okay. It's incredible. I love it. At Worlds, everyone brings around their like favorite little Pokemon plush or whatever, and I brought around Ugly Eevee, and it was really funny.
Very good.
It was a good time.
These are all the super chats there. Got everything good. You can go around here as we finish up. Let's start with OJ. Where can everyone find you, sir?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. Got a bunch of cool top 25s that I'm kind of getting back into. So yeah, you want to check it out. My final list for Switch 1 top 25 games coming. I know I'm supposed to have it last week, but whatever. So I'll have that up this week. Then of course streams and more gaming news on Switch and RPG stuff. So yeah, should be good.
About Celia, where can I find you?
You can find me on X. I'm Celia B with 3 E's. You can also find me on Game and Talk. I do a podcast with Sean and Josie and sometimes Nate eventually. And that's on Wednesday nights. We talk about we talk about Nintendo stuff and sometimes Pokemon. I have Pokemon in the brain. And I also sometimes stream on there. I'll probably be streaming again next week when my face is not lasered.
Okay.
Oh, you can also find me on Twitter challenging people for 10K as well. You can also
running
find me
from
there
challenging
people to fights on 10K. Just let you guys know I know martial arts, so be careful if you want to do that.
What belt are you, OJ?
What's up?
What belt are you?
I did kickboxing.
And never mind.
I did kickboxing, I did MMA, and I did wrestling. So
okay, I thought you were gonna be a karate dude, and so
I did kung fu, but I was never really. My brother was more into kung fu and taekwondo, and he's black belt in that. but I was always more of just like street fight and just like kickboxing and wrestling. So those are like my things.
Maybe not challenge OJ. Bad idea.
What he's not telling you is he just runs into the gyms in the middle of the day and just kicks a kid in the head and is like, yeah, and just runs out.
I've been beaten up plenty of times, but I just know that these small arm Twitter dudes don't got shit.
Dude, he's got that ukulele. You don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I looked at his arms. He looked like a ninth grade basketball player, like girl basketball player with those arms. So I was like, he's never lifted a weight in his life.
Wild.
Evan, where can everyone
deep
find
cuts. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch and pretty much anything social. Kimrick's project, mostly tabletop focus. Hopefully, I can start getting some videos out and kind of trying to figure out what kind of videos I want to put out. But we're also trying to stream stuff, usually games on Twitch, and then just general things on YouTube and Twitch at the same time.
Hold on, I have to stall because someone said that to check Streamlab. I have to stall for 1 second. I have to stall.
Good stall.
It's
Good
loading.
stall.
It's loading. And we're in. Okay. Oh, Juice Man Vaughn. Shout out to them. Says Pokemon took over when it dropped on Game Boy. All my friends had it, and it was pandemonium when Gold and Silver dropped. That was my first memory of being in a hype cycle. Before that, there was a red Game Boy in my family with F1 Race and the legendary Link's Awakening. Yeah, Gold and Silver was a crazy drop because we knew Pokemon.
Gold and Silver.
The hype was ready.
Yeah, that was massive. Man.
That was the big introduction to like the legendary dogs and like stuff that was really hard to catch. That was crazy.
New types too. You had Steel and Dark Pokemon, which was cool.
It was so cool.
Adam left a tip over on Streamlabs, and this is Adam talking, not me. Okay, all right, this is Adam with the retro discussion. Who all fell for how to resurrect Eris methods in the forums for Final Fantasy VII? I didn't say.
I thought you were about to say a slur. I was like, you didn't have to say that.
I didn't say you had to resurrect Eris. Okay, I didn't spoil anything. That was Adam here. Okay, so I didn't spoil anything. That was Adam.
Okay, I thought it was that guy coming back saying, "I'm going to kick your ass, OJ."
Oh no, I definitely fell for that too, Adam. Don't worry. I was like, now there's got to be a way. AOL won't fail me now.
AOL's gone, bro. It doesn't have your back.
That's everything. Now we got it. We're good. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Oh wait, Orb of the Dollar. Shout out to Orb. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Dollar Orbs.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back from all of Sean's thumbnail.
We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, probably with direct stuff and other things to talk about. And we will see you guys then.